Everybody, and welcome to pre-season testing here for Formula 3 at the Barcelona Catalunya circuit. The green light is on and we are underway for the first session of the day. 2-3 hours coming up, and here's our timing screens. Alcamel timing systems are in play, which means we get the full field of information alongside a driver tracker, so it's easy for us at home to keep across all of the information. It's session number 1 on day 1, and now to take you through as well, with 2 hours and 51 minutes to go, we've got our filler content. First up, Omi's been podcasting with Formula 3 drivers, and then the opening races from the 2024 season at Bahrain. So sit back, relax and enjoy pre-season testing for Formula 3, and we'll start off by handing over to Omi and the JB Motorsports podcast with Javier Savara.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to JB Motorsports in 2025. We have started the year brilliantly with Autosport and the Rolex 24 Hours. And this year we bring back podcasts, but we also bring something new to you here at JB Motorsports as we introduce interviews. In this we'll be speaking to people inside the motorsport industry, whether that be drivers, engineers, team bosses or commentators. And we start today as we have an incredibly special guest joining us. It's someone who is a Eurocup champion and also someone who can call themselves a Formula 3 driver this year. It is, of course, Javier Sagrera. Javier, welcome to JB Motorsport. It is great to have you, and of course we have to first of all start off by asking you how you're doing and how's the off-season treating you?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for bringing me in. It's also really good to speak to you. And off-season, it's been going good. You know, I thought normally you have such a big break from the last race up until next one in the season, but you know, this time I've managed to keep myself busy enough, just training, traveling, and doing all sorts of stuff. So really, you know, it was a good off season, but you know, always you have all this, you're so anxious, no, and ready to start the season that, you know, I'm just fed up of waiting now.
Yeah, absolutely, and you've got a big year ahead of you as well. We'll get to Formula 3 last. We'll of course start off with talking a bit about your early years as well, along with Spanish F4, a bit about GB3, then also coming in with Eurocup 3. As we mentioned, you're the champion of that series, and then we'll end brilliantly talking about the year that is coming your way. So Javier, can you quickly then talk us through, first of all, how did your passion for motorsport come? First of all, of course, everyone, whether it's drivers, whether it's commentators, doesn't matter what role it is, everyone has different stories when it comes to getting started in motorsport and where their passion came from. So can you talk us through how your passion came from motorsport?
Well, my passion came actually from, you know, my family always loved fuel in general, but especially my dad was a rally driver when he was about my age. So he always had this passion, and, you know, really since I was 3 years old, I was jumped in a kart, and my dad would put me in those rental go-karts and run around. But, you know, actually, you know, I have a funny story about this. I always tell that, you know, I was actually a lot into soccer, football. But it wasn't until one day that my dad actually, I asked my dad after a training session if one day I would be able to play with Messi and Cristiano, if I was good enough. And I was about 7 or 8 years old, and my dad said to me with a straight face, he said, no. So as a 7, 8 year old, I got really sad. And then the next day I woke up and I said to my dad, like, look, I want to find another sport and just be really good at it. So, you know, my dad said, okay, when I was young, I started with rallies. So why don't you start with go-karts? So then, you know, we tried a few rental go-karts, and then, you know, finally a guy from a rental kart saw us and he said, look, this kid is quite decent in a go-kart. So why don't you try going a bit more professionally? So, you know, from there, actually, you know, my passion every year is increasing always, and I never get tired. But yeah, initially it wasn't my thing.
Okay, well, that is an absolutely brilliant story to kick off with. Of course, you came into Spanish F4 in 2019, but could you quickly tell us a bit about what got you to that position, as you of course mentioned with karting? So what kind of opportunities did you get? What big accomplishments did you have along the way to help you get to Spanish F4 originally?
Well, you have, normally when you start, you have all this go-karting route, no? That you start near about, I started actually quite late to get in professionally, if you would say like that. So I started when I was about 10-ish. And yeah, all the way up, started in this regional championships. I started in the Catalan championships, which is a region in Spain. And when I start winning there, I jumped to the Spanish championships. Then I started winning in the Spanish championship, so I jumped in the European and World Championships, representing my country. And from there on, I just spent a few years in go-karts. And, you know, I think when I was about 16, I then, you know, things were going really good in terms of my accomplishments in go-karts. I was, you know, quite recognized, especially in Spain. So I thought the natural step I had to do, because, you know, my dream is to race in Formula One. So, you know, we asked, you know, what's the next step? And, you know, we got the opportunity and we got the support to start doing F4, and we went for it. So, yeah, it was a long journey, about 5 to 6 years of go-karts and traveling around the world to doing this sport and in terms of go-karts. But then, you know, when I was about 16, I then made the jump to F4.
Absolutely. And when you did make the jump to F4, how was it like entering the paddock for the first time as well? Of course, when you first came in and entered that arena, how different was it? And how, of course, were you feeling when you first arrived there?
Well, I always say it's such a different world. Like I arrived, just coming into the track, you're used to these small tracks that you're racing go-karts, and suddenly you arrive and you see all these big garages and boxes and all these trailers and trucks. So just arriving there, it's just so different. And again, it's a dream, especially when you're young and you spend all that time in go-karts, but you always kind of look up to those guys ahead of you, and suddenly, you know, bit by bit, year by year, you know, you see you're jumping into it. You know, it's actually quite a proud moment and accomplishment, seeing that it looks so far away. But, you know, if you kind of take things step by step, race by race, you suddenly you see yourself up there without even realizing. So.
Yeah, and what were you able to gather from the races that you had in Spanish F4? What things did you learn from that experience, which of course went on to help you in GB2 and everything you've done since?
Well, it's where you have to go. You know, it's this ladder that you have to step up, and you know, I learned a lot, especially you know, the step from a go-kart up to an F4 car is really big. It's like a whole other story. So it's again learning all the basics that some things you can apply from a go-kart to an F4, but really in terms of driving style whatsoever, it's so different. That, you know, it was a really good step for me just to get used to a car, actually. No, especially the difference is the weight transfer. It's, you know, you're used to a go-kart that probably, weighs about 100 kilos, and then suddenly you're put in a car that weighs 500, and it's so different. And again, it's all this power that you have. Suddenly you arrive to 200 and something kph instead of 100. So, but it's this ladder that you have to keep going on, and step by step, you have to be able to make effort to then progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you quickly explain to us as well how helpful can it be for a driver sticking in the same team for a second season, especially for junior series drivers? So how helpful is it to be remaining with the same outfit? Of course, you know the people. So how does that really help a driver when they know the people there, and of course have another season with the exact same team?
Well, it's actually about what you said. I haven't really stuck to a team for 2 years in a row, but this year I got the closest to it because with MP I did some races in 2023, and then I did some postseason testing for the next season, and then I did the whole season with them. And it helps in a way, because this year especially I've learned that teamwork makes dream work. And it's totally true. You need a team behind that. Especially what gives you being a few years with them is really to get to know the people personally. It's super important to be able to know your mechanics, know your engineers. Don't speak only about racing, get to know them outside, because you build this trust and relationship, and then in the moments that really count, you have this whole team behind you that backs you and supports you when things are going not so well, and then they cheer for you when things are going right. So it's really important. But now I've learned it's not so much about sticking to the same team for 2 years. If you actually have the capacity to be open enough that you arrive to the team the first year, but you make that extra effort to get to know all the people, just be charming, be open to speaking with them, and I feel you can get this feeling and this bond in a year. It doesn't have to be multiple, but if it is multiple, because the situation is really good, the team is really good, and you feel really comfortable, it's even better,
Absolutely. And we're going to move on to GB3. But before we talk about your time in GB3, could you quickly explain to the viewers what GB3 actually is? We at JB Motorsports are actually covering GB3 this year as well on the channel. So could you quickly talk us through what GB3 actually is, how's the racing like, and what can the viewers expect from the series?
Well, GB3 is an F3 championship based in England, but really it's not in England anymore, because you have all this calendar that they have now. You do more European races than actually in England, but it's a really good school, I would say. It's a championship that it's really tough, good competitors. You have really good teams. You have, especially when you go to these tracks from the UK, UK, I feel it's known for such iconic tracks. And by iconic tracks, I mean that you have all these narrow tracks that leaves you as a driver. My feeling when you go to England is you have no margin for mistake or error whatsoever, because the tracks are so narrow and so technical that if you make a mistake, you go completely to the wall, or you touch the grass and you spin. So I would say it's one of the best schools that you have. Especially also because it rains a lot. You get to drive a lot in the wet. So basically it's a championship that you go there to, grow a lot as a driver. And yeah, it's the car it's really good. This year they have a new car that it looks awesome also. So they have really good cars. It's an F3 championship, and it's a good learning school, I would say.
It absolutely is as well. What differences did you find as well when you moved from Spanish F4 to GB3? Of course, you described a little bit about the circuits and how challenging it was, but when you did more racing over here in Britain, what were the differences that you found compared to racing mostly in Spain?
Well, compared to Spain, it's what I said earlier. You know, you have a lot more in Spain. It nearly doesn't rain, so you don't get this experience in the wet that is so valuable, and that now I can say I kind of have it. And when it rains, it's not an issue for me, because I've learned it totally in the UK. So you get a lot more valuable running in the wet. You get this. You grow as a driver because the tracks compared to Spain, it's not that they're harder. I would say it's that because each track, if you want to go quick, has its own tricks, but you definitely don't have margin for mistake, which is something in Spain and Europe. You have all these big tracks with such far runoffs that if you lock up or whatever, you have all this space to run off and come back, which in England you don't have. So I would say are the two things that, for me, they're the difference from Spain and even Europe. It's that you get more experience in the wet, which is crucial, and then you learn to not really make mistakes, you know.
Yeah, indeed. And we, of course, asked you this question in the Spanish F4 section, but we're going to put it to you once again. So you would have learned a bit more as well now coming in, racing in GB3. But yeah, what did you learn from the seasons that you, of course, had in GB3? Of course, you already had a good foundation from Spanish F4, but, of course, racing in another series, as you mentioned, of course, with the mistakes, you probably were able to minimize some of those, but what else were you able to learn and also add to your skill set when it comes to driving from the seasons you had in GB3?
I will repeat myself a bit, but it's again what I told you. For me, each year you grow as a racing driver. You're more mature, you gain more experience, you race head to head with other drivers, and you learn your racecraft. But for me, you know, what you learn in England, it's that you get more wet running than in Spain. That, you know, it rains two times a year, and then, you know, you have a really good car that you learn to use a lot the downforce of the car and get confident with the car, because it's a really light car, I would say, the one they have in England. So it's a really good car to learn how to drive and refine your driving skills, I would say. But really what the difference that it makes from Spain is that you learn a lot more in the wet, and then you have to make less mistakes, because if not, you put it in the wall. But then, you know, even you go to Spain, you go to Europe, and for me, it's also a really good school. So there's the route that if you want to go to England, but then especially like if you go to the Euro Cup Championship, for me, it's probably in the same level. You know, we have 30-something drivers in some races, and you know, you have this amazing car too that they've built in Euro Cup, and you have all these amazing tracks around Europe. So for me, as a driver, the good thing is that you have so many routes that you can take before stepping into the FIA route. You have the GB3, but then same level championship. You have a Euro Cup, then you have this amazing championship in FRECA. So really, you kind of learn about the same, just that in England you have this virtue that you can learn a lot more in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the point as well of so many different parts. Of course, we on the JBMotorsportsXtra channel, as I've already mentioned, we are covering GB3, we're also covering FRECA, we're also covering Italian F4. There's quite a bit of routes and series that drivers can participate in. So it's really, really great to see how and where all of the different drivers come from, especially when they arrive in Formula 3 and also Formula 2, to see all of these different routes they've all taken to arrive in this same series. Now, you returned back after you returned back to GB3 just for a round as well last year in 2024. So what were the differences that the series had, if any differences, and of course, what was the feeling like when you arrived back? Did you notice anything that changed, or was it all just basically the same?
yeah, it really was about the same. It just changed the track that I raced in Hungary, in Budapest. So the track was a bit different, but really, I also drove for a different team because I did some running with them and testing with them. So I just wanted to help the team in some way for that race, to extract information or whatsoever. But the championship, car was the same, everything was the same, really.
Yeah, and the final question when it comes to GB3, of course, you were able to get a couple of podiums as well. One in one in 21 and then one in 22, I believe it was. So how was it like? How was the feeling when you came across the line to get those podiums?
Well, getting a podium is always special. It's something that, as a driver, you work so hard in whatever championship you do, even when you're in go-karts. You work so hard as a racing driver. Every day you wake up, you train, you do sim work, you have to fight for sponsorships, and then when you get to racing, you've put and dedicated all this time. And I always say I could write a book of racing with all the bad things that had happened to me, and probably to every driver. So, and from 100 things that go bad, then you have one that goes well, and it's that satisfaction of all the work you've put that you then know that it has been for something, and that this work, suddenly you see that it finally comes to a podium, and as a result, and you say, okay, this hard work actually pays off in the end. So it's always a huge satisfaction to see that. And again, in GB3 or in Euro Cup, or even in go-karts, it's a special feeling that there's a lot of drivers that, this I always say, there's a lot of drivers that when they win or they finish second or third, they don't celebrate. It's kind of, get my trophy and I go back. And I always remind myself, and I even tell some of those guys, like, why are you not happy, Because you cannot take for granted these things, because you never know when this is going to end. So you never know when you're going to score your next podium or your next win. So for me, I enjoyed it as it was my last one. So this is something I always keep in my head, like, really, you have to enjoy this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, loads of things can go wrong, but of course, you eventually do get that amazing moment. And we're going to move to a series that you did have and a really amazing moment when it came to last year. We're going to first of all start off in 2023 in Euro Cup. Now, the question here is, was it all amazing from the start? Did you really, were you happy with your performances originally when you came to Euro Cup 3, or did you think there was always ways to improve? Of course, for a driver, there is always ways to improve. But were you originally happy with how you were doing and how you started, of course, in Euro Cup 3, or do you think there was some missed opportunities?
Well, look, I'm actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to focus on 2024.
Fair enough.
Because even in this 2024, I'm going to answer your question with, even in this 2024 that, I've actually, I did came on top in the end. There's been moments in this season that I was actually not even close to satisfied with my performance. Because as a racing driver, you always have this pressure, this doubts. You always want to be on top, and, even looking as it was like a really successful season with 10 podiums, 4 wins. Actually, there were moments in that season, especially I won Spa, the first race of the year, which was a really a high for me, But then after Spa, I had about 2-3 races. I had Red Bull Ring, and Portimao. I had 2 races especially that I couldn't get my head right, and I was about scoring some podiums. In Austria, I scored a second position, even in Portimao, but I had this poor qualifyings, I had some poor races, and even during this season, I look back and I think, okay, I have a lot to learn from. And actually with my engineers and team, especially Portimao and Austria, we went after these weekends, even though they were a bit successful in a way, thinking, there's so much more to improve. If we really want to fight for this championship, we need to change a lot of things. Which from the outside, you may seem, okay, this guy is still leading the championship. He's the championship leader. But inside, we were actually quite afraid. Like, look, if we keep like this, we're not gonna go well. And actually, from Portimao onwards, I kind of did a click in my head, a big change in terms of approach. That if you then see, and I worked it a lot, I had some really tough conversations. I can even tell you, I've cried during this last season, crying because I was frustrated with myself, and even with my closest members of the team. But then onwards from Paul Ricard, it completely changed everything. And from there on, I didn't step down from the podium. Apart from one race that my teammate collided with me, I didn't step down from the podium. It's such a big shift that I made, that mentally my team did help me. But in a way, if coming back to your question, you do have a lot of highs and lows during a season. Probably from the outside, you kind of don't see it enough, but probably the first 3 races, or Spa, I take away, then 2 races, I was really not happy with my performance at all.
Okay, Javier. Now, you of course talked us through a few moments, of course, in that season where it was coming together, but at the same time, of course, it wasn't really coming together at different points, the highs and lows a driver goes through. But was there really a moment where you thought you could be a championship contender, or possibly the champion? Of course, champion, maybe that might be a little bit too much, of course, considering the title fight that you were in at the time. But what were the thoughts? When did you really believe that you could possibly be the champion by the end of this season?
Look, I think as a racing driver, you always have to believe that you can be the champion. Obviously, this always has to be backed by work, especially work, always. But I always had this mentality, and I always will, that every time I put my helmet on, I only think about winning. So for me, I always believed in myself that I could win this championship since day one. But it is true that you never really, you kind of live in a bubble, at least for me, that you never realize. For me, it was, each race I was scoring points, scoring wins, scoring podium, but I took the championship with an approach that I would do race by race. Just let's rock up to a weekend, see how it goes. Depending how it goes, we go on to the next one. And like this, I just felt every weekend I was scoring good points, good podiums, good wins, and there were less and less races left. So to a point, it's true that especially after Jerez, I would say, said, okay, well, I've gone race by race. I've always said this during this year and stuff, but now there's actually only one race to go, and I'm still leading. So, this race by race approach, up until a point that you realize, like, oh, there's actually not more races left and I'm still leading. So I think it was a good point to take it like this. And really, it's until, for me, it's not over until, and this I would say is one of the best moments in my life, when I crossed the finish straight line, knowing I was a champion, having my engineer and my team boss congratulating me on the radio, getting that in-lap to soak everything in. And up until that point, you never can take for granted that you are a champion, because as you said, in motorsport, it's not only depends of you have a team, you have a car, and so many things can happen that you always have to keep yourself on your toes. But yeah, after Barcelona, that's when I realized, look, I've made it.
Nice. And yeah, I was about to actually ask you about, were you actually aware when you came across the line that you were actually champion, considering, of course, we didn't really find out on the broadcast, as everyone was still working out all of the rules and stuff as well. We didn't really find out till you parked the car up and got out of the car, and then we got to you spraying the champagne, it was, as well, and celebrating a lot. So yeah, were you actually aware, or was it your engineer that came on the radio and that's how you found out?
Look, if I'm honest with you, I spent all the race with my engineers telling me on the radio, look, you're still champion. You're, I don't know what I was, like P5 on track, like this, you can be the champion. So I was always informed on the radio. What do I need to do? If I needed to pass the guy in front or not, you know, from the inside, it was everything much more controlled. What probably from the outside, you always bite your nails thinking, oh, what's happening? But the guy on the inside actually normally has everything a bit more controlled. So I always knew it was tight. In the end, I think it was 2 points separating us. It's true it was tight, but you know, even when I was in the race, my engineer said, look, don't overtake the guy in front, even though I had a bit more pace than him, but just, you know, stay where you're at and stay out of trouble. So yeah, you know, I was, there were less and less laps to finish, and then slowly I was thinking, oh my God, this is so close. It's actually going to happen. And you know, coming off the last corner and seeing you cross the finish line, and more the relief that you spent such a whole year working for it. You've had this stress, this nerves, everything, and you just take it all off. It's the best moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And quickly, just taking one step back as well. So this question, of course, is about coming into that title final. You mentioned, of course, about the race-on-race approach, and that is something that we hear quite a bit come out of loads of drivers. But when you're in that championship fight, how much can a driver, even if they say that they are going to stick to it, how much can they really stick to? Because of course it's always in the back of the mind that, you know, you could be champion, as you also just talked us through a few moments ago. So how much can really a driver control that race by race approach, and as well and of course manage those nerves? And how were the nerves coming into the final round?
Well, the thing is, even in life, you can't control everything that happens to you, you know. But the things you can control, you have to do them well. So it's never under control, you know, and never. And there's, as I've said, this sport that can happen so many variables, and there you can break down the car in the last lap. But there's something I always tell myself, and it's, look, I'm a true believer that there's a destiny for everyone, and for me, if something happened in your life, it was meant to be like that, and it's probably a lesson or whatsoever. So, but the thing that takes off my nerves a lot is I know I've put everything I could into this. I've done the best I could. I've put the most work I could. I've, you know, trained as much as I could. And the feeling of knowing, look, I've done everything and thrown everything that I could. And now, if it happens or not, I have to be satisfied with myself. Probably not with the result if I lost or I win or I won. Luckily, it ended well on track. But what was actually more of a relief, and probably what I didn't get nervous about that weekend, was because I arrived to that weekend thinking, look, I've done everything that I could. I've, right or wrong, but you know, I've tried my best. So if I win or I lose, I can be proud of myself. And even better, you know, you have, at least for me, I always think, look, I lose or I win, I have a mom and a dad that loves me. I have a grandma that loves me. I have some dogs waiting at home. So if you lose or win, there's these people that they're still gonna love you. So this, I also use it a lot, thinking, look, I always have these people supporting me whatsoever, and no matter what. So for me, this takes a lot of pressure off racing, or if I'm, about to win or win the title fight, really.
Yeah, absolutely, brilliantly talked to, brilliantly explained there as well. And to sum up this Euro Cup bit, well, how long did the celebrations go on for after that championship? And then when was it back to focus mode as well? Of course, with the Formula 3 news as well that did come up. But we're not going to discuss Formula 3. We're going to get to that in a second. So we'll save that bit for a moment when you got that announcement. But yeah, how long did the celebrations go on for?
Look, I'm going to be really honest. And I wouldn't say funny, but it's kind of, I didn't expect this even myself. After the race, a lot of friends came to support me. And even a few months backwards, I was actually speaking with my dad, and I tell my dad, look, it's been such a long and consuming year that if I win and this finally, finish this, I'm going to take a big break, just to relax, enjoy do the things that I enjoy, and just relax a bit. So it finally went off like this the Sunday in Barcelona. So I said to myself, I brought a bunch of friends, bunch of family. We had such a nice dinner in a restaurant all together. We were probably like 40 people. And then, I went out with my friends, and I said, like, now I can enjoy. So I had a night out with my friends, had probably one of the best nights ever. And I said to myself, look, now I have like probably December to relax and then refocus again. And actually, I woke up, I don't know, like at 10 a.m. that morning. I woke up from bed, and I was actually, I had such a void inside. Like, I said to myself, like, now what? Like, I finished the last race, all the pressure is off, everything is off, but what do I do now? I wake up, and what do I do? Have breakfast, and it's the season is finished. So I called my dad and to his house, and I said, Dad, like, I feel so lost. Like, I said I was gonna relax and have this vacation and do things I like, but like, I want to go again. So actually, it was the next day, 10 a.m. that I said to myself, look, I need to keep myself busy, refocus again, because I just feel I cannot be thrown out there after all this high that I had. And the next day, say to myself, like, look, now I have all this time, because I've learned about myself that, I actually enjoy the process of doing these things and enjoying day by day training, doing the racing. And when I'm off of that, I'm no one. So it didn't even last, I would say, less than 24 hours for sure, that I was back again at it, and happier than ever. And I didn't want any kind of resting or whatsoever. I just wanted to crack on again and just start training the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. And right before we move on to Formula 3, I want to ask this question, just one question on the FRECA rounds you, of course, had in 2023. And mainly, of course, as you were a part of MP Motorsport that year, and of course we had the fatal accident for Delano earlier that year as well. So when you did come in near the end of that FRECA season, how was the team like? Of course, it would have not been easy. The whole motorsport paddock and everyone involved in motorsport was shocked, but of course you were a part of it. And so how was the team doing near the end? I can't imagine they would have been really enjoying that season after that moment at all, and they would have wanted it over immediately. And of course, but at the same time, they would have also been wanting to race for Delano. So of course, you were in there, and of course, some thoughts from you as well. How was it like in those final rounds with that in the back of your head, and of course, the team's head as well?
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to speak about this a lot. I think
Yeah.
the team is a great team. They're such strong and phenomenal people, and everyone has its own handling. But again, they're a really strong team. They did a great work, and I learned a lot from those two races. And probably on the back of those two races, were helping in my progression to win the next year and with MP. So it was a great 2 races in period to adapt to the team, and then finally consolidate, do a good year this 2024. So yeah, it was really useful for me, and hopefully I and the team was really good to start building a relationship for 2024 onwards.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, of course, moving on to Formula 3. So, well, when did you find out then, Ian, that you were driving for AIX? Of course, you would have found out, you would have had contracts and everything going on way before it was announced, or possibly maybe just a few weeks, who knows. So yeah, when did you find out that this Formula 3 opportunity was possible with AIX? And what were you doing at that moment as well, when you found out or got that message or got that call?
Well, there was some interest going on with the team back and forth, but I think it was, yeah, I think I did quite a solid testing for the team. We were both really happy with the way of working and the speed we had whatsoever. So I think that really helped for the team to finally say, like, look, we're gonna sign this guy. Hopefully it was a good first impression. I thought it was. So I think it was probably after the testing that they just said, look, like, we believe in you, we believe in the project, so we want to have a really successful year next year. So I think you would fit in the team. Again, we were both really professional, really mature in the approach of working. So I think to really progress, it was a really good environment. So I think we both said it would be really good to work with each other. And yeah, I think I got it a few weeks before the announcement, which I was really happy again. As I said at the start of the interview, I was dreaming with this category since I was 10 years old. I was with my dad watching the F1 races in Barcelona, and we were seeing the F3 guys first because we used to arrive to the track really early. So we were actually, when we go and saw, we're from Barcelona. So when we went to see the F1 races when I was a kid, we used to go like at 8 a.m. and see all the races, and we used to see the F3 guys. So me and my dad were looking at each other and thinking, like, how far away is this? And finally, after probably 11 years now, seeing that after 11 years of every single day working for this, you have reached that point. Obviously, for me and my dad and family was such a great achievement that obviously you want more. I look, again, my goal is to be an F1 driver, but I think you always need to look back and peel back on things and realize how much you've done. And it's been 11 years, and finally to get this call or this news saying to you, like, you're an F3 driver officially, it's such a nice feeling for me, for my family and my environment.
Yeah, and what's the thought about just having in your mind that you're going to be racing on the F1 weekend? You're going to have all of these people coming in to view Formula 1 on the side, also getting this F2 and F3 action, and you'll be a part of this Formula 3 action. So how's the feeling that you'll also be taking part and making a weekend so good alongside all of the F1 and F2 stars as well?
It's surreal. Like, again, I can't describe it yet because I haven't been in one actually. But just to imagine yourself being, you always look then on TV and you think, wow, like you're gonna actually be in Australia with them, with all the fans, the people. I still don't know how it's gonna be, that experience, but for sure it's gonna be a massive step. probably a bit different to what I'm used to. But again, it's just an honor that I know I got this opportunity. I need to maximize it. So just, yeah, really excited.
Yeah. So with the calendar this year, is there a certain round that you're looking forward to as well? Or if you can't name one, because well, you're going to be racing at a lot of amazing venues this year, so you can name a few if you'd like. But yeah, which rounds are you looking forward to for this upcoming season of Formula 3?
Well, it probably has to be Monaco. I mean,
I had that one in mind. I thought you'd say that.
yeah, I mean, I think every driver is such an iconic. Actually, this last year, I went for a trip with my car, and I spent a few days in Monaco, and I was walking around the streets and thinking, like, how can these guys race around here, and how incredible it has to be with this amazing atmosphere that there is to be part of that weekend, you know. So I think, and this year having the chance to be there, it's just, again, it's something that probably I can't even imagine yet, but hopefully it's going to arrive soon and go well enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we mentioned a new car for GB3, but it's not the only series getting a new car. You have Formula 3 that you'll be racing in. That's also getting a new car as well. So yeah, what's your opinions from what you've seen of the new car so far? And also, of course, do you think that will help you settle in with everyone being on a equal footing, let's just say, when it comes to a brand new car for Formula 3? Do you think that will help you settle in a slight bit compared to possibly some of the drivers in their second season?
I think it's a really good year to enter a championship like this, especially as a rookie, because as you've just mentioned, it's a year where the car is different, the tires are different, like everything is different. So as a rookie coming in, probably the level of the field, it kind of equal itself, and these experienced drivers, probably they have a bit of advantage because they're used to the speed or the weekends, the tracks, whatsoever. There's still ground to catch up to, but for sure it's not as big of an advantage as it was because, as you've said, the car is new, totally new, and the teams have to develop it. And especially my team, AIX Racing, they've done amazing with the F2 car.
Yeah.
Won feature races, won sprint races with that F2 car and a new model. So I'm just really confident that, especially with this new kind of trend and model of the car, and especially adapting to it, they're really good. So I just think it can be a really good year.
So the final question for, of course, this Formula 3 section before we move to a little quick fire to wrap things up with. What are your goals and ambitions then coming into this year? Of course, as you mentioned, you'll believe that you can be champion. But yeah, at this stage, what would be your goals and at least what you'll want to leave 2025 with?
Well, I want to keep myself humble. And as I said, I always like to back things with work. But I do believe in myself, and I think I want to win races. I want to score podiums, and you know, you never know if you're gonna fight for a championship or not even be close enough. So I cannot say to you like, look, I'll be fighting for a championship or not, because I think you never really know. But for sure, as I've said, as a driver, every time I put my helmet, my goal is to win, and wherever or whenever I'm put in, that's my goal. I do believe a lot in this team. I know I'm a rookie, but I want to be humble enough and think first I need to adapt to the car. I need to learn everything, and it's not going to be easy at all. And probably I'm going to have good weekends. I'm going to have bad weekends, but the goal is to win races, to try and fight for the highest that I can. And I don't want to settle for an average year. You know, I'm not here for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to wrap things up with a quick fire. We're going to do 5 questions in total. So yes, let's immediately get into it. So, favorite track?
Zandvoort.
hardest competitor you've raced against?
Myself.
Lovely. Best performance you've had overall?
Zandvoort 2024.
Is that also your toughest race that you've had?
It was a race that it just poured rain, and I qualified first, a second quicker than anyone, and won both races in the dry. So probably a remarkable weekend.
Craziest race you've been a part of?
That's a good question. Oof. I would say Spa 2024.
Okay, I did say 5, but however, I'll add one more, and it will be the shortest. It will be the shortest question that you've ever answered, and the easiest one as well. Should viewers watch Formula 3 this year?
Yeah, of course. I think it's the most exciting category. If you want to see action and people close, it's actually so much more enjoying than watching an F1 race. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all going to be amazing. Cannot wait for it to begin. And Javier, before we end off, what are your final words for everyone who are going to be watching Formula 3 this year from yourself?
Well, I think just to enjoy great racing. Hopefully, I myself can deliver good races and for people to watch. So yeah, just tune in to your channel also. Also, yeah, just have a great year for everyone, and yeah, just watch F3 races that for sure you're gonna enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you'd like to keep an eye on how Javier does throughout this F3 season, we'll be streaming every single practice, qualifying, and the races as well, with live timings and commentary as usual, so you'll be able to keep an eye on how Javier does. Well, Javier, big thank you to yourself as well, along with Jamie, for making this possible. We'll put all these socials and links in the description as well. So a huge thank you goes to you, of course, you, Javier, for taking the time, along with, of course, Jamie, who's also been sitting here in the background. But yes, thank you for giving us a lot of your time, we have to say, and we wish you the best of luck this season in Formula 3.
Yeah, well, thanks for you for having me here and let me talk about my career and personal things. So yeah, thanks for you for letting me this opportunity, and also good luck to you.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you, Javier. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Make sure you take a look at all of our socials, and we cannot wait to bring you this brand new season of Formula 3. Thank you, and goodbye.
It's the first race of the 2024 Formula 3 Championship, and we're coming to you from the Shakir International Circuit here in Bahrain. Who knows what's going to happen? 20 races, 10 sprint, 10 feature, all starts right here, right now. Well, there's the grid for what tomorrow's feature race will be. We're waiting for everything to kick into gear and get access as well as we welcome you to Formula 3. Qualifying for Formula 3.
Formula 3 Championship Season 6 began with qualifying at the Bahrain International Circuit. 30 cars taking to the circuit, 17 rookies out on track, all vying for the first pole position of the season. Plenty of drivers doing what they can to get the best lap in, some of them pushing just a little bit too hard at times as they tried to push for that lap, but in the end, it was the number one car at the head of the field.
Hello everybody. Good morning. Welcome to FIA Formula 3, the season opener here at the Bahrain International Circuit in Shakir. We are almost all set for 30 cars to venture down towards Turn 1 and the season to begin. Alongside me in the commentary box for this opening race on a Friday is Omi. It's the 1st of March, Omi. Time to get the season underway with race 1. And certainly so much intrigue for Formula 3 this year as to what we're going to see.
Absolutely. It's time for another season of FIA Formula 3. Always love. We're about to get underway and we've got a long season ahead as well. It all goes by quickly, but we've got plenty of action to come. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of the rookies get on as we prepare for another F3 season. It starts, of course, here in Bahrain. And all of the drivers are getting ready to go racing. This is going to be one incredible contest. Let's see how much chaos we're going to get in the opening round of the season. I think last season we got a bit more of a quiet start compared to 2022. This year, let's see. This year, let's see. Are we going to get a start like 2023, a bit of a calmer one, or are we going to go all in like 2022?
I'd like to go all in. It seems to be that kind of weekend. As we take a look at the starting grid, I'll read you through it, considering that the live timings, guess what, still aren't working. It's the way we need them to be. Always the way, isn't it, when you need them? So, on row 1 of the grid, it's Lawrence Van Hopen who's taken pole position for the sprint race as well. He started 12th, of course, yesterday in the qualifying. Alongside him is Nicolas Solov. Max Esterson is on row 2 alongside Arvid Lindblad as well. It's Christian Mansell in 5th, Tim Trimmertaz as well in 6th position. Leonardo Forloroli is 7th. 8th goes for Santiago Ramos. 9th is Motocarfu alongside Gabriel Mini in the top 10. Nick Browning starts 11th. And then Dino Bogdanovic has pole position for tomorrow. He starts 12th on the grid, of course, in the reverse grid. Then it's Noel Leon alongside Alexander Dune. Then it's Mari Boyer and Charlie Wirtz alongside Oli Goethe, Nikita Bedrin. Callum Vosin is then alongside as well as Zagazita, who starts 20th. Joseph Logan 21st. Stanshaw is 22nd. Interfasafol as well is 23rd. I'm getting better at it. 24th for Suiza as well. Sophia Fleur starts 25th on the grid. Joshua Dufek 26th, Tommy Smith 27th, Wisnicki 28th, Sebastian Montoya down to 29th, and Glenn Shields down in 30th place as well. Many drivers getting blocked yesterday in qualifying. Don't forget, those 13 down will be in the same position they're in for this race and the feature tomorrow. So, Omi, it should be quite fun when we get going. Everyone now should be just standing away from the cars and getting all set. 30 cars, though, down to turn 1. It's going to be quite the battle procedure to that first corner.
Always is in Formula 3, that exciting run down towards the first corner. It'll be interesting to see whether Lawrence Van Hopen can cut across Nicolas Solov and see how they get on the run towards turn 1. Could they bring someone else like Maxwell Esterson or Arvid Lindblad on his Formula 3 debut? We're watching the last year's Macau winner, Luke Browning, right now, looking for the championship, and he'll be starting tomorrow from the front row, but he's a bit more further back. He's going to have to do quite a bit of overtaking today and keep out of trouble. That's going to be crucial. Every single point is going to be crucial by the time that we get to Monza to end this season. And we're about to get to the formation lap underway then for the opening race of the season. And there we go. Green light is on. And that means Lawrence Van Hopen leads us away down towards turn 1.
Formula 3 as well, not doing their justice this weekend. Guess what hasn't worked? There's no live timing. Again, it just has not updated. So, really, really bizarre.
I thought just struggling to get it like working in the morning or something, fasting in the morning.
It's really bizarre, isn't it, as well? I'm just trying to have a look at Formula 3 on their app and see if anyone's saying that we haven't got any live timings. Let's take a look, shall we? First point, live timing. Yeah, all live timing as well. That it has gone down. I'm just tweeting it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we have all 3 Trident drivers together in the field, so let's hope they don't make any sort of contact as well. But I think this is going to be a really, really tight and exciting race. Yeah. Let's see if there's going to be any other drivers who can make their way up to the field as well. Oh, there we go. Live timings are on.
Yay! Timings. So, there's no lap. That's interesting. That's what I'm just finding out right now. I can't see a lap counter on the board. No, gap interval pit. So that's a bit bizarre. Why is there no lap counter? Right, guess he's going to have to fiddle around quickly then to get a lap counter on.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, right. So, a very exciting field right now. All ready to do battle. So many different drivers we could see take victory in this one, because remember, it's wide open in Formula 3. Safety cars can happen. There could be contact between leaders. We have it all usually in a Formula 3 campaign, and Bahrain usually is one of the circuits where we start to see all of the action coming through. Sebastian Montoya starting in 29, so he'll be hoping that he can make his way through the field where we have the formation lap. Right now, they're coming to the end of the formation lap and making their way to the last corner. A big hold for Formula 3, of course, with 30 cars, everyone having to get into position. So if you are the two ARTs at the front, it is a bit of a hold. We're watching Leonardo Fornaroli, another driver, hoping to get to the title this year in Formula 3 in his second season now, after last year finishing 11th with the same team, Trident. So he's deciding to stay with Trident. He's been joined there by Santiago Ramos and Sami Megatunif. And both of those drivers, both of those rookies, seem very talented with the evidence that we've seen so far in qualifying. But there we go then. They're making their way onto the start-finish straight. They'll be getting into position, and we will be getting our opening F3 race of the season underway.
Still be laps completed, so at the end of the first lap it'll tick to 1 and then it'll count up to 19. So when it says it's 1 lap, we've completed that distance as well, because it means that the timing page isn't wanting to work. But this is going to be the big one. Track temperature 27.5, air temperature at 20. Watch out for wind speed 3.2 meters per second. Not as bad as it's been. 43% is the humidity as well. Lawrence Van Hopen on pole position. Solov alongside Estison, then Limband. Mansell in there too, completing out the top 5. It's been one of the longest off-seasons in Formula 3. It was the first weekend of September that we finished. Now it's the first weekend of March, so it's October, November, December, February. Coming into March, 5 months. The cars have been ready in testing. They've all had their time. Now we are all set. Brand new talent on the grid. Brand new season about to launch in. Formula 3 will kick us off in 2024. Green flag in the back. All eyes to the lights. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and the FIA Formula 3 season is go! Good start from Van Hopen. Good start from Estes. He's going to cut across the inside line of Limband. Down to turn 1. There's a stall on the grid already. Further back, as into turn 1 we go. Van Hopen has the inside line. Trying to come on the outside. There goes Solov on the inside line. Nearly getting taken out by Max Esterson. It's good through 1. Spinner at the back. One of the Tridents going round. Is that going to be okay? Yes. Considering the 4 and 5 at the back, I've got to assume Alexander Doom might be in trouble as well. There's a further spinner in the mid-pack as we run out towards turn 1. Into the lead goes Solov. Lawrence Van Hopen battling with Esterson. Tumanansi up into 4th position, and they all get through turn 4 just about, but only there's 2 cars already, yellows and greens, making the board go all over. Great start though, Solov leads.
Solov is in the lead indeed. Santiago Ramos was facing in the wrong direction, and there was all on the grid. That was Noah Leon as the 2 Red Bull Juniors battle. That's Arvid battling up against Tim Travanitz there as well, and here's Leonardo Fornaroli trying to get in on the action, and Beganovic says he's got a puncture.
Beganovic, who will start on pole position for the feature race tomorrow, already saying he's got a puncture. He's dropped down to 25th position. Sebastian Montoya up from 27th to 24th and all that mess. Shields, though, I think must have been in trouble on the grid. So Suhitso as well, because as you said, he's still on the grid. But Shields in trouble down there. Solov leads by half a second. Then it's going to Lawrence Van Hopen. So the 2 teammates leading. Esterson holding off from Traminizzi. And then we get Lindblad Fornaroli dropped down to 6th position. position. Metacarver up into 7th position. Mansell, great start from Mansell, up into 8th position as they head down towards turn 14, the last corner on the track. One of the MPs making a move further back. That's going to be Gabriel Mini alongside Alexander Dune on the inside line, and Boria getting involved too, just trying to have a look back around the outside. Dune gets through though. Mini drops down a position. Great stop, and it's Ollie Goethe battling there too. Oh, Omi, action on the first lap. Now they try and break the DRS because it does get activated after the first lap.
Yep, here comes Fauna early on. Arvid Lindblad trying to get past the rookie, and Lindblad is going to be super, so he's going to try and make a move himself, then up the inside of Tim Travanitz, and there we also see some in the background, but it seems like the top two still make their way through the ART with Solov in the lead, and they're still battling all the way in the background as well as we make our way down towards turn number 4. DRS enabled as usual on the second lap, but 3 wide, and there's a high tech being forced all the way off the road in the background.
That's Marius Stanshaw as well, getting forced off by Zagazita. He's in a battle with Interpovazak as well, so they're all getting into the mix of it. Nikita Bedrin up into 18th position as well, getting all that mess. So what a little bit of a battle that's turning out to be. Up the inside there we see that's Metacalvi battling. That's up in 8th position. So it's all drama as Beganovic Omi into the pit lane.
Yeah, Dino Beganovic, not what our pole sitter for tomorrow needs, and that's not what he wants to kick off his championship. He's all the way at the back of the field and will surely be hoping for a safety car. So he's got a puncture on the opening lap. We'll have to look at the replays to see what happened to him there as well. And here we go, now we have the race start.
Take us through, Omi.
So, Lawrence Van Hopen got away very well indeed. He was able to just hold it, and Solov, though, comes over on the outside line to try and outbrake his rival. Noah Leon was the staller in the background. They made number 1. Beganovic, you can see, is on the inside, and there's a bit of contact. He might have been the spins around. Santiago Ramos in the true was the car pointing in the wrong direction. Solov was already pointing his car to try come over, but luckily Lawrence Van Hopen was just able to come over to the inside lap, and Solov had to go all the way on the outside as well, and trying to get past Max Olesterson, who was super late on the brakes, almost hit. And let's look in the background. Yeah, Beganovic hit Santiago Ramos in the background. You can see the red and white Prema, if you are synced up with us, hitting the Trident there.
What a start. What a great getaway. They've all been held up for ages. And now we can actually get going. Hopefully the lap counter is going to stabilise after that. It's just disappeared. Oh, now it's back. Honestly, I hate this system sometimes. It just honestly makes you go like, let me overplay. Oh, where is it? No, apparently no, it's not.
Yeah.
See, it just says lap. So I'll try and get that sorted. We'll go through. Go on.
Graphics having a mare.
Everything's having a mare.
Graphics having a mare. Apparently it's the sun.
The Formula 3 system is about as useful as a chocolate teapot.
Beganovic. Yeah. Yeah. Beganovic is under investigation for his contact with Ramos, so we'll see what the FIA say about that one. Lawrence Van Hopen with the fastest lap. He's got DRS, and the 2 Tridents trying to stretch clear right now. The 2 ARTs trying to stretch clear, I should say, right now, both DRSing each other. So this could be an interesting battle between the 2 teammates. Solov, of course, in his second season, Van Hopen in his rookie. So he'll be desperate to try take this one away. And then Max Olesterson just currently sitting in 3rd on his own, really. No one too close ahead or behind. And you see them all make their way through, and it does look like Van Hopen's very close to the back of Solov, so he's not had the best second sector, and he'll be under pressure, maybe even into the final corner, but he might sit behind because he knows there's 2 straights coming to try and make the move.
Yep, they're going to be right up there, keeping their inside line. 1 lap 3 of 19 as Solov leads Van Hopen. Esterson there as they come down towards turn 1. Solov's going to have an absolute defensive job to his teammate because he's got the DRS, got the toe. As we see Van Hopen pull to the inside line, little bit low on the brakes. Van Hopen will take the lead towards turn 1. Solov will not try and attack and retake the position at this point, and I think Esterson just outbraking himself a little bit too far behind as well, but he keeps on going. Finally, graphics systems are working. Van Hopen's got the race lead, but for how much longer? Solov's pulling back to the inside line, coming up towards turn 4. sends it through on the inside line. The two teammates running each other nearly off the road, and Solov has the position, but Van Hopen is not giving up. They're side by side through the sand dune section, and Van Hopen still keeping it through on the inside. Solov on the outside, but comes into turn 8, and that's allowed Esterson to catch up. Brilliant side by side movements between the two teammates, and now the exit. Van Hopen's trying to get the movement to turn 9 and 10 to cut to the inside line, but Solov's got the line. And now here comes Esterson. Will he bring Lindland into this? Brilliant stuff.
Formula 3 already delivering in 2024. We have Solov in the race lead. We have Van Hopen in second. Esterson has joined this party. As you mentioned, he's in third. Can they bring all of the other drivers into play? Because it's a big change. Dino Beganovic has been given a time penalty because he was out. He threw one to the inside, and he's been given a 10-second time penalty for that one. So that's a disappointment for our pole sitter for tomorrow. But we've got some fantastic action at the front of the field. The two teammates going side by side all the way down through 5 and 6. And Van Hopen is still close, and they've brought Esterson into play, as you said, and soon they'll be bringing Lindblad, and there's many other drivers behind Lindblad, so there'll be so many drivers who will come into play. But 3-car battle for the lead right now. This race is already starting to deliver, and the two teammates who are so close together, ART, would have been scared all the way down there watching these two drivers battle, and they might be about to do it again because Van Hopen's going to have the DRS. Bit more of a gap this time. It's 0.5 of a second. 15 laps to go as they come over the line.
Esterson's right there as well in third position. He's keeping his eyes open. He knows where he might have an opportunity to score a win. Here's Van Hopen's radio. Let's not listen to radio. There's nothing there for Van Hopen. It came up and it never said anything. So we'll have a clean start. Run up towards turn 4. Yeah, Esterson's on the back.
Yeah. We go. And let's see, can he go around the outside?
Whoa.
No. Oh, in the background, that's very close. That's the Ansel, and he's battling with the Trident there. Oh. And they'll be side by side once again. But Megatunov gets pushed off, and they're still going to be side by side, Josh.
And they're still running in together. There's almost contact, and now we're going to see Luke Browning try and have a move on the inside line. Down towards turn 8, little twitch in the rear. Browning locks up on the front left tyre as well as he tries to keep in. He's in P9. So remember, it's Sammy Metacalvuni as well in 8th position. Christian Mantle in 7th, and they're still side by side further back as well. And Browning's going to send it. That's a bit late, and there's a little bit of contact further back off the track. That was Murray Boyer getting sent off the track, and that was by Luke Browning who had that lock up. So Browning getting locked up, and now we're seeing Metacalvin passing the inside line of Christian Mansell down at turn 11, but up towards turn 12. Mansell's trying to come back round the outside line. That's a tricky position to come back through. Browning backs off. He knows that if that was contact, he was going to go straight into the side. As again, very wide for Metacalvin as well, as just getting too much through turn 13 there. Damage to the front wing of, I believe...
This is getting interesting.
So damage to Boyer. Damage to Boyer's front wing. Yeah. He's missing an end plate. Go on, Amy.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. Down the straight they go once again. And Lawrence Van Hopen on the radio was saying that he pushed me off there. So it's already getting tense between the two teammates. But it looks like he just sit behind because he's touched before. The straight is sinking behind because, here we go, the battle can... And it's very close in the background as well, as here comes Mansell trying to get past Sammy Megatunov, and he does get past.
And further back as well, Verts was in a battle with... Oh, someone was on the dust there. Montoya in a battle too. Was Browning's trying to go around the outside of this little battle. He's going to take 2 of them. Browning round the outside. He's in P9 at the moment. He gets ahead of Metacalvin. He's side by side with Mansell. And here comes Murray Boyer. They're 4 wide as they come through the sand dune section down towards turn number 8. And again, great stuff from Browning. He's up into 7th position. Boyer's up to 9th, but he's battling with Metacalvin. So he's on the outside. Exit of turn 8, gets his foot to the floor and gets through before turn 9 and 10. The two left-handers into the tie-breaking zone. Brilliant. Something to lock up there. Coming in from Goethe. Brilliant stuff. Just brilliant. This race. 6 and 19. Here's Van Hopen.
From Lawrence Van Hopen.
Can you push me on the track? Yes, okay. You're smarter than him, so now we go together.
And at the inside, Gabriel Mini trying to make the battle now as well on Metacalfu. And I think he's going to try and go around the outside coming to turn 12. That's a bit risky. You might want to back off the track. Still side by side. And Gabriel Mini's really pushing in. He's off the track. He's into the sand on the side of the track as well. And he will say he got forced off the track there. But the car who's just giving him enough space to come down. Surely not around the outside of the last corner. It's a tricky move. It sort of drags you out wide. And yeah, he's backed off. He'll get the DRS though down to turn 1. Hi to George and Beth. Who is this Van Hopen dude? He is a absolute monster of an overtaker. Oh, go on, Omi.
He's showing plenty of talent as well, and thinking better, something a bit of his brain for when to make the overtakes and when to not. Here comes Mini, and he's going to try and make the move into turn number 1. Once again, they'll be side by side. Is Sammy Megatunov going to be passed finally, or is Mini going to still be behind? It seems like Mini's still trying to get this pass, but he isn't through yet.
Up to turn number 4. Mini looks to the inside line. He can't get away through, but again, going wide. Mini's going to go for it side by side. We've had a car through as it comes to the Sanju section. Yep, yellow flags out. There, spinner in the background. And I think it's Loke. I think it's Joseph Loke who spun round and continued. So from the top of the screen, I think it was Joseph Loke who's had a spin. He was running 20th. We'll see if he drops down the timing screens at some point in this race.
Oh, the two Van Amersfoort side by side.
Oh, and off the track and taking the dust as well, actually. Browning and Maney's been noted for leaving the track and gaining advantage. What an insane race, 7 of 19, and everything's just going nuts. It was Joseph Loke. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, in a bunch of battling with, and he's going to throw one to the inside. Is he going to get spun around there? Yeah, threw one to the inside. And so many cars there, and unfortunately it means that he's spun around, and it was so close between all of them, wasn't it, going down to turn number 4. 5 cars not separated by anything.
Arguably, I'd say that was his fault. He turned in and he spun himself, but to avoid contact, so I think he did the right thing there, otherwise that would have been a safety car. Solov still leading. Van Hopen just behind him with the DRS. Esterson and Lindland, and now Forlaroli joining in. We've got a 5-way fight for victory here in the sprint race at Bahrain. Into turn 1, 2 and 3 coming up. First DRS zone on the run up towards turn number 4 on the lap. Opens up. And how Solov is holding off, I have no idea. 4 drivers with DRS. It's a Gilles Villeneuve defensive drive. Back from Harama in 1982. Or was it 81? 81, Spanish Grand Prix.
Yep, and look, we are, and as we mentioned earlier, we've brought in Lindblad Forlaroli into play as well with Hamilton. They battled earlier on. Now, Loris Van Hopen knows that there's no point battling at this stage. Sit behind, go for the move later on, and not just battle and lose time together. So he's using a bit of his brain. So yeah, a very talented driver. He is commentated on him in Macau, I believe, as well. I remember him from Macau when that race happened as well.
Luke Browning!
Browning's been given a penalty.
And what's this for? 10 seconds, of course, but what's it for? Leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
10 seconds?
Off the track at turn 4, wasn't it? That's harsh. That's incredibly harsh. Stewards have literally given no nonsense this weekend, it seems. This season, even.
I bet in F1 it would be 5 seconds, because that's usually the case. They're always like stricter in the feeder series for some reason.
Trying to stamp it out, aren't they, before the bigger series. Still pushing.
Okay, so the race, so Browning right now running in 7th position. Mansell in behind, but not too close as well. And this is the battle for the lead. Here comes Lindblad on later the brakes to the inside for 3rd.
Gets ahead of Esterson, who's keeping his fingers out there, isn't he? Look at how he's sliding the car. Esterson was left completely vulnerable. And
what's Forlaroli?
Wow, Forlaroli gets in on it, right around the outside. And now is he going to get the drag on Esterson up there towards turn 3 and 4? No. And now that's put out 2/10 gap, because here comes Solov and Van Hopen. They are battling for themselves with the race lead.
Yeah, so these guys have to now try to get back up there.
What happened to Esterson? Oh, this is the penalty for Browning.
Yeah. So let's see, he's just gonna go all the way around the outside, and he'll be late on the brakes, of course, and then
he got
all
forced
the way,
off.
all 4 wheels off. Yeah.
Hang on, did he actually go for all 4 wheels off? Oh,
Yeah, 10 seconds for that?
No, he got forced off the track. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah. So how is that even a 10-second festival?
Oh, and Esterson did touch front wing end plate to the front tyre of Lindland as well. Oh, that was so close to a contact.
It's the first race of the season and I'm already questioning the FIA. Typical.
No change there then. But I must admit that to me, that doesn't seem to be a 10-second penalty. I thought that was a fantastic move from Luke Browning there.
Yeah. I think you could have asked him to give it back if he is still up there. But, of course, minimum like 5 seconds. But how is it 10 seconds? Like,
I'd appeal that.
How?
I would 100% appeal that.
I wouldn't even give him a 5, but FIA going all in, it seems like. These are the leaders once again. And Van Hopen sitting behind, so he knows. He's thinking better of it, unlike Solov earlier on. And he was told on the radio, of course, was Van Hopen, you're doing the smart thing by sitting behind, so that's what they're gonna do. And at the end, so this will be a battle that builds up, esports style, let's just say, where they all just sit behind each other. Loris Van Hopen sits behind Solov. I'm sure if Lindblad gets involved, he was definitely not sitting behind. He's going to dive bomb like he did on Esterson.
I think they're appealing it, by the way, as we see ART just looking very cautious at the moment. Solov and Van Hopen leading the way. They are going to appeal it.
Wouldn't be surprised, because 10 seconds is absolutely a joke for that. So they gave Bogdanovic the same penalty for making contact, so it's all sorts of chaos, isn't it?
I think the stewards are going to be in for a lot of questioning soon. F3 fun fact. F3 cars generate about 280 kilowatts and weigh only 550 kilowatts, including driver. It's a fun fact. I think everybody could drive a Formula 3 car. I think that's the entry for everybody. Black and white flag.
Ian Shields.
He's running at the back anyway,
for track
Shields.
limits.
If I'm not mistaken. Is he running at the back?
28, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not the way that Ian Shields wanted his opening race to go. Bit of a poor qualifying yesterday.
He's going for it.
Hopen is close. He's close this time. Let's see if he can go for it this time around.
I think he'll have a choice. He's going to be in that toe so much down to turn 1, and he's going to go for it on the inside line. Van Hopen's going to take the lead into turn 1, late on the brakes, and Solov is going to, well, it's maybe teammates, but it's all out for each other in Formula 3. There's no having to go for it, and Solov will have the DRS on the run-up towards turn 4. Van Hopen goes defensive. He pulls back to the inside line. You're only allowed to move once. Solov's going to keep on the inside line. Van Hopen turns into the corner. Solov will get a better drive, and the exit's going to go side by side through the sand dune section. Downhill, Solov has the inside line. That's going to put Van Hopen very much on the outside. They almost make contact, and that's going to put him off the track. And here comes Lindland as well. And he's looking to the inside line. Lock up from Lindland, turning it nearly into Van Hopen. Solov takes the lead of the race. Van Hopen back up on board with Forlaroli. He's going to try and go around the outside of Lindland. Coming into turn 9 and 10, he backs off. Solov leads the race. Van Hopen, Lindland, Forlaroli back in the order. So it's status quo as when we started the lap, but a nice little run together. Brilliant.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Forlaroli still is going to try, and let's see if we can try to do anything down to 11. Lindberg will cover the inside line. Can Forlaroli go around the outside? If he's going to feel brave, no, we're back out of it. Let's see if we can try to do the up and under. Get out of 12, nope. He's hit behind there. But yes, the two ARTs going for it. That's the risk. That is really the risk for ARTs battling. They could have both been overtaken had it been a different part of the circuit. And we were 3 wide between the leaders. Incredible stuff. Solov holds the lead. He has a 6/10 gap now. And now Lawrence Van Hopen may be in trouble, because here comes Lindblad, and he's super as we will make our way through. Turn 14 right. You don't need to worry about at all, as that's just a little kink. And then it's foot to the floor all the way down towards turn 1. Let's see what happens on this lap.
DRS open. Van Hopen closing in. Slowly, slowly, slowly. I think it's too late for a move on this lap from Van Hopen. Maybe not for Lindland. He's going to dive from the inside line. That's very, very late into turn 1. And it's caught Van Hopen a little bit unawares, but Lindland's Lindland's going to get the drive. Coming out towards turn 3. Estersen's involved there too. Lindland to the inside line. Pulls alongside Van Hopen. Tries to shut the door. Forneroni's coming in there too. Estersen closing in the background. Lindland still on the inside line. Van Hopen goes on the outside. Forneroni's going to try and come back. Can't get through. He's been sent wide. Through goes Lindland, but then at the exit. Van Hopen has the exit drive and gets back ahead. So they are really battling, and now that's given Solov an 8/10 advantage, but it's a 5 about to become 6-way fight as Tim Travanidze is going to come up into 6th position.
Absolutely, and Solov is going to be a fan of this. He's going to be liking more of this. But now with DRS, they need to be able to close back in. That's a bit of a lock-up. That's a bit of a lock-up there by Lindblad, and he has lost quite a bit of time to the back of Van Hopen, but he continues on. And as you said, Tim Travanitz is going to be joining the party as well and getting onto the back for this race to lead. And Browning could be in there, but he's of course got the penalty as well, but that could easily be appealed, as we've already talked to you about. Van Hopen now with DRS needs to try and get back in, but if they battle, they could lose a chance of fighting for victory. This is how close it was, as Lindblad was all out of shape, and it was very close between the two of them. Van Hopen keeping his foot in on the inside line. Both of their lines compromised, and they both lost a bit of time. This was further down in the pack, and that was Matthias Zagazeta going off the road. And rejoining and then coming under a lot of pressure by the Van Amersfoort of Noel Leon. And this was a bit of contact. We see the PHM of Tassan on the inside of Callum Woisen. And they just about made their way through, but that was super close. And once again, Lawrence Van Hopen is closed back in, and it's still, they're fighting for the race lead. And Tim Travanitz is 2/10 away as well from joining this.
Great job actually from Mr. Pavazak with Musit there, side-by-side stuff. And there was a little bit of contact as we see. This is the lead change again. Van Hopen diving up the inside line, turn 4. Solov keeping his foot to the floor around the outside, drifting ever so slightly, but they're keeping the position. Van Hopen's going to still come through. Boy, oh boy, have we missed Formula 3. This is the action that we love, absolutely love to see.
This is the action we love to see indeed, and when you try and make a move, it doesn't go right, it could mean that you're under pressure like Lawrence Van Hopen is from Arvid Lindblad. We know how late on the brakes Arvid Lindblad can be. We've only seen him for 13 laps racing car, and we already can tell he's one of the last pickers. And let's see, can he now try and make Lawrence Van Hopen has to try and recover now, get onto the back of his teammate Solov, but the two ARTs could be costing themselves here with both battling and the paymer of Arvid Lindblad, who's also at debut. Oh, he's run wide.
Van Hopen goes wide, and Lindland takes 2nd position. Now are the tyres starting to go for Van Hopen as well, but great stuff. Lindland up to 2nd position. Now that's going to put the pressure on for Solov.
A bit of pressure. Now Lindblad isn't going to wait around. He's going to be as aggressive as Solov was. Lawrence Van Hopen might have been taking a bit of the calmer approach. Lindblad isn't going to take that. I think we're going to have a real fight on our hands now for this lead. And he'll use this straight to gain a bit before Neroli's going to be trying to make a move on Lawrence Van Hopen, but unfortunate moment for him, who's of course ran a bit wide, so maybe the tyres are starting pushing, and now they're all making their way down towards turn 1. Again, we're on board with Leonardo Fornaroli, car 4, currently in P4, and trying to upgrade that to a podium. Tim Trout in this party as well, the MP Motorsport driver. So this is our battle for the lead then as we go down towards 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars involved, about to become maybe 8, as they are all battling. Lap 14 of 19 here, 13 complete. Solov leads, started 2nd, up to the lead with the two AOTs. Van Hopen down to 3rd position. Lindland brilliant, up into 2nd position for Prema. And I believe we're just seeing Alexander Dunn's Alex Dunn moving up into 12th position, passing. Well, it says Mansell, but I thought it was Metacarthy. This is on board. And Van Hopen just got off the track. He just got a bit of a slide.
He did just go wide, and Leonardo Fornaroli and Lindblad all able to get through. Lindblad had a little look on the inside, so that might have unsettled Lawrence Van Hopen and kind of made him run a bit wide there as well. So unfortunate stuff for him there. But now look, Lindblad is right on the tail, 0.5 of a second the driver who finished third in Italian F4 with Prema, knows how the team works, and he's already up to grips. This is the team that has been supporting him over the last few seasons as well. Now they've taken him up to Formula 3, backed by the Red Bull Academy, and now he's going to try and take the lead with Red Bull watching on, and so much support in this F1 paddock. Here we go, down towards turn number 1 for Arvid Lindblad. Let's see, can he move? 5 laps to go.
Solov moves to the inside line, goes defensive. Lindland's going to pull to the inside into the braking zone for turn number 1. Now they're giving the advantage in the braking zone. So low the brakes as well, side by side to the first corner. Solov tucks in behind, thinks about a move on the outside, tries to get a better exit. He's so much closer to Lindland, and he'll have the DRS. He's practically pushing on the hill. Lindland forces him almost off the track. In fact, he is off the track. Great defensive from Lindland, but very much not in the spirit of the rules. Solov retakes the lead of the race, and now 6 become 9.
Exactly what I was mentioning. Arvid Lindblad is not going to be as kind as Lawrence Van Hopen was, so these two are going to get aggressive. I wouldn't even be surprised if they make contact. Tim Travanitz has managed to get past Esterson. Boyer has got past Gabriele Mini, so there's battling all throughout the field as well. Mini is fighting back against Boyer, so Boyer might now need to worry about his teammate Ollie Goethe, who will be arriving on the scene. This is right now the battle for P8. We're focused though mainly on the battle for the lead, with how close it is, and a bit of a lock up there as well.
Lindland locking up down in towards turn 10. There's the Bremer boys watching on, just hopeful that Lindland can take a race win. This is Gabriel Mini side by side. This is for 8th position, so he was getting ahead of Murray Boyer, and a great move around the outside. Boyer's going to give him a bit of a force off the track there. If Mini's ahead, then I'm not sure if that was getting an advantage or not, but staying with the end. Mini's ahead of, no, Boyer's still ahead of Mini according to that timing screen. Meantime, at the front, out of turn 13, as they head down towards turn 14, penultimate corner on the track, we're seeing Lindblad. Can he make a move? He's going to go for it down to the last corner. You never go for it here. On the inside, no, he's backed out of it. Yellow flag, sector 2, and I think it's Zagazita. Zagazita's gone off the track somewhere. So he's dropped down the timing screen. We'll wait to see that deploys either a virtual or a full safety car. Meantime, down the straight we go with the DRS still activated. Solon will go defensive, but here comes Lindland, and this could be a race-winning overtake, and the safety car's brought out. Van Hopen's going through as well. Van Hopen's making it 3 wide. Lindland takes the lead. Van Hopen nearly touches his teammate Solon round the outside of turn 1. Can't find a way through. Gets back on the power. Forler is in 4th position. He gets to the inside line. Van Hopen goes defensive. Leaves him plenty of room. Follow-on is going to have to take this one tight through 1 and 2. Lindland leads. We're back to green flag running. Follow-on keeps on through, and Van Hopen stays in 3rd. Brilliant first sector.
Brilliant first sector indeed. Definitely game on in the cars now. Battling for the lead. Browning's joined this party with possibly an appeal also coming. But here we go. This is what happened. Possible 3 wide, no, and there's going to be a bit of contact, and the Van Amersfoort spinning around those top. He would have hit Matthias Zagazeta, so Tommy Schmidt hitting Matthias Zagazeta, and that was a brave move, late on the brakes on the inside, but this battle for the lead, absolutely delivering. We're in the final few stages now, and this race is delivering. Blood in the lead, can Solov try? Matthias Zagazeta pit lane to retire probably, as we see Fornaroli be late and get past Van Hopen. But definitely it's game on. We have missed Formula 3 for so long, and this is the action it's delivering. We almost have 10 cars battling for the lead if we see Boyer get inside the 1 second, which he almost did.
1.097 at the end of that first mini sector. It's going to continue to close down, but Lindland is in that battle too, because he's now pulled a second to Solov. So there's a lot of still to be played on here, as we're going to enter lap 17 of 19 and complete laps completed 16 of 19. Great race this, proper Formula 3.
Delivering. Wow.
You're right about Zagazita.
He's just been that acceptable. Yeah.
Oh, maybe into turn 1.
Here we go.
This takes 3rd position. Van Hopen's trying to go around the outside, and the pair of them. Van Hopen takes 2nd position. Solov down to 3rd. Forleroni in 4th. And Van Hopen goes from 4th to 2nd around the outside at turn 1. Van Hopen coming through on the inside line. There goes defensive, and off the track. That can't be legal from Solov. He was completely off the track to make that maneuver, and that's going to force them both wide. And through goes Forleroni, but he can't get alongside. Only Solov who shuts the door. That can't be legal from Solov.
Fantastic. Yeah, it surely can't. He went all four wheels off the road there as well, and it's now getting really, really aggressive. Tim Travanitz trying to get past Fornaroli. That's late on the brakes as well by Gabriele Mini. Was he able to get the move done? He's trying to get past Luke Browning, that is. Can he go around the outside into 10?
Browning's got the inside line, late on the brakes, they're almost touching. Mini does the comeback, he'll have the DRS with so much more power at the exit. Browning couldn't get the traction down, and Mini goes through. Oh, beautiful, beautiful move from Gabriel Mini. He got that traction down perfectly.
Fantastic stuff by Gabriele Mini. Limbad has absolutely walked away. He's on his way to his first win in FIA Formula 3 on debut in his first race, but he's going to leave. Everyone else battling for second, and here comes Fornaroli. He was very close, but it looks like we
That's
play
a
now.
replay of Bedrin and Mansell. Mansell coming back and Bedrin locking up into turn 11. Hardly the most important thing right now because this battle at the front is closing. Lindland has pulled 2 seconds to Van Hopen, and Van Hopen's pulled 8/10 to Solov, and Solov's going to start falling down now. Penultimate lap of the race, lap 18 of 19. Down towards turn 1 we go again. Solov going defensive for that last podium place. Fornaroli's going to cut to the inside line, and here we go again because behind we're seeing a little bit of a battle, but that's Fornaroli up into 3rd place.
Yeah, Fornaroli into 3rd place for now, though. And in the background, that's very, very close as well between Boyer and Browning. So Browning losing a position to Mini, and here comes Boyer, and the other Campos of Goethe is going to go on the attack. And also, here comes Solov trying to come back as well. It's super close as they go down to the braking zone of 4.
And round the outside, Solov trying to get that move. Fornaroli giving him enough space, but it's not going to happen. Van Hopen has the fastest lap of the race as well. He'll get a bonus point for his trouble, but this absolute insanity of a race as we're nearly seeing contact on the inside. Max Esterson nearly hitting as we see Tim Travanitzi in 5th position. Travanitzi's going to be a bit out of it as we now see on the inside line Esterson trying to defend from Gabriel Mini, who again gets so much traction out of turn 10. He's going to the inside.
Absolutely, and he's going to once again try and make a move. Down towards 11. Let's see if he can get to the inside. It looks like he is going to be now. He's going to have to be late on brakes with Gabriele Mini. That'll be close to Maxwell Esterson.
Power, power, power. Come on, Mini. Keep it around the outside. Come back. Inside, inside, inside. Oh, he just couldn't get through. Great defensive work from, as we saw from Esterson, but it was just too close. Gabriel Mini, he's going to try again around the outside. Oh, that's a dangerous part to try in the last corner. That's just lining him up for DRS though. Pulls through, gets the DRS, gets to the power. Final lap and this amazing opener. Mini pulls the inside line to get ahead of Esterson. Now he's got DRS, so he's got extra power down the straight. I think Esterson's got it as well. Coming in fast behind Ollie Goethe. Goethe's going to get involved in this little mix. And Mini on the inside line gets ahead of Esterson. Esterson shuts the door. Fornaroli's under pressure as well.
Fornaroli's going to try actually make the move on Van Hopen here with 4.
We'll keep an eye on that as Mini pulls the outside line and Fornaroli on the inside line. Van Hopen on the outside line. Hasn't worked out what happens between Mini and Esterson. Did they get ahead? Mini's on the outside line. Esterson gets on the track. Off goes Mini. Esterson still keeping it on the inside. Mini's kept his foot to the floor. Ollie Goethe is getting involved now as well. Over 7, 8, 9. And Mini's looking everywhere to try and get through. Esterson's going defensive every single part of the track he gets. Browning's involved. So is, well, if that's Browning involved, that's way back in the order. That's going to be Goethe in 10th position as well.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. However, Lindblad is going to be making his way. There he is. He's going to be making his way down towards the checkered flag. Still Van Hopen having to defend for Fornaroli. In the background, we see Mini trying to get past Maxwell Esterson still as well to the inside. He's got it momentarily.
And it's the exit power though for Esterson into the inside line, turn 12 and 13. Mini's going to have to try and find an inside line. Tries to get the comeback into turn 13. He's running out of options. Going defensive. There goes as well. Esterson gets back on the power. That's going to be fighting towards the line, I reckon. Mini might just get him. But, and what a run. Arvid Lindblad has done it to perfection. He exits the last corner on debut for Prema in Formula 3. Arvid Lindblad wins the season opener. sprint race in Bahrain. Van Hopen will be in second position. Oh, Willie, it's a fight to the line. Who gets second? It's side by side, Van Hopen and Forlaroli. And Mini, did Mini get him? No! 4,000ths of a second. Esterson 6th, Mini in 7th. And it was 36 thousandths between Van Hopen and Forlaroli. And Browning, without penalty, drops down to 15th place. Still gets a point. But no, he doesn't. No points, only down to top 8. Arvid Lindblad wins the season opener in a brilliant sprint race here in Bahrain for Formula 3. Omi, that was spectacular racing.
Spectacular indeed. He made the moves. The two ARTs got over each other. Lawrence Van Hopen still gets second. So these two, the top two in their rookie race, getting a 1 and 2. So great stuff by both of them. But 2 drag races to the line. Exactly what we love to see. Formula 3 back and delivering better than ever. And what a race. What an incredible race that was. Prema Considerate, pole yesterday. Win today, possible win tomorrow with Beganowicz on pole. It didn't go his way today, unfortunately, though. But let's hear from Arvid Lindblad.
Yes, mate. P1 on your debut, mate. Well done.
Yes, thank you, mate. I enjoyed that one. That was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much.
The British driver.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. What a amazing opener we've had here. Question is, will we see the podium for the sprint race later for Formula 2?
And Formula 2 is going to be exciting as well. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be incredible. It'll be Jack Crawford now on pole for that one.
Yep.
This is Leonardo Fornaroli because of Mady getting disqualified. And he was having a look right there at the last corner. And then, let's see, he's going to make it a run to the line. Lawrence Van Hopen, not with the best of exit. And then it's foot to the floor. Gaining. DRS goes open here. A bit more. It is he just misses out, unfortunately. So that was super close. 2 drag races to the line, and we love to see it. We love to see it side by side over the line. Just what Formula 3 is all about. But yeah, Jack Crawford will be on pole for the Formula 2 later on, and he will be alongside Taylor Barnard. Finally, PHM don't have a pay driver there.
Cracker opener here in Bahrain. 20 years we've been racing the second. Here's Lawrence Van Hopen.
You are P2, and well done, man. First race in F3, and you are P2. Could be my start of the season. Shame that it was so hard to overtake Nicola in the beginning. Otherwise, it could have been a better race.
Van Hopen there, brilliant race for him. Second place, Forlaroli in third. Solov though. Solov down. He was just down in 4th position after leading for so long. He lost out on that. Oh, need to sit down after that one. What a race. Arvid Lindblad wins the season opener.
Yep, love to see it indeed. Prema once again winning with such a strong lineup. With possibly all 3 drivers it could be a championship contender this season. Definitely for Mini and Beganowicz. But Lindblad, if he can continue performances like this, but even get pole in the features and get good qualifying results, then absolutely he'll be in contention. So Prema always with strong lineups in Formula 3 as well, and in Formula 2 they're cracking lineup the Bahrain circuit. Too well from time to time with their car, so maybe in Saudi we'll see how they actually perform. But for Formula 3, everything is a-okay for them, and they're back to winning ways as well. And this team always taking drivers up through the ranks, even before Formula 3, with all of the F4 championships from different countries as well. And this was Arvid Lindblad's winning moment ahead of the rest, and not even being behind. He was just ahead of everyone and was able to pull the gap when he made the move. He was very aggressive in his driving with Solov. I think that kind of mattered, because Lawrence Van Hopen was kind of driving a bit calmer. But Arvid Lindblad not waiting around, making the move, and that was phenomenal. Going to almost 3 wides at points in the race, and a great way to kick off the season.
Here's the question though, is it a replay if we haven't seen it first?
Yeah.
Because
Fourth in the world is...
Yeah, because sometimes it comes up as replay, and it's an accident you haven't seen. So is it really a replay, or is it just something you haven't seen?
Yeah.
So I think they just call it a replay, but it's not technically a replay, because replay is content you've seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cracker. Right, what's F2 going to give us? Also, you've got to remember, it's not Saturday, it's Friday. It feels like a Saturday.
It does. It does. I mean, with the whole scheduling, it absolutely does. Like, you think yesterday's Friday, today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah.
But no, it's Friday. But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff there. And I think Formula 2 is going to be, I'm going to say, even better. I'm going to say Formula 2 is going to be even better.
I agree.
And it's going to take a lot to beat it. I think Formula 2, we're going to have so many good drivers in there. Victor Martins up there as well. He's one of the, he's got some experience. He's got some experience, of course. Crawford also got some experience, but Victor Martins, we can say, can be faster at times. So who knows? The Barnard up there, rookie in there, and I think Formula 2 is just going to be absolutely thrilling, and there's going to be so many battles. And I wouldn't be surprised if it cut. And I'm going to predict it's going to be a last lap battle to decide the Formula 2 race.
Like every time on the second year I saw, I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I love the grid a lot with the rear.
Yeah, I saw him just the lap before I tried to pass. He came out of 2, it was like this. I was like, it's time to go now. I thought I might have damaged my wing on the first lap.
Yes.
Because with Esterson, it was like, I was over the curb like this, and T1. But you two were hacking hard.
The last part he started backing me up into you. Like, you made me do 2 very easy passes with Esterson and
yeah, I know. Yeah. And here, I
thought you were going to hit me.
I accidentally put first, and then I couldn't get out.
I saw like smoke in my mirror. I was like, fuck, you're gonna come into me. Here I fucked up. I freed up the rears for the 2 laps after. Like I kept looking like this.
Beth makes a good point here on the YouTube chat. If a tree falls down, replay, does it make a sound? No. Well, yes, but no. Yes? No? No? Depends if the microphone was turned on. Good start. F2 and F3 really are kicking off the season in style.
Let's see if F1 follows.
Now,
And yeah, as I mentioned, I think we're going to get a drag race to the line in F2. Not
yeah.
drag race, but sorry, last lap battle.
it will be
To decide the
side
winner.
by side.
I'm not going to go brave enough to say that, but it's going to be a last lap battle.
The new podium here in Bahrain for Formula 1. In full display. So Follow-Early in third, Van Hopen in second. But it's Arvid Lindblad who wins an absolutely amazing opening race. And in his honour, we are going to hear the British national anthem for Arvid Lindblad. And he gets a trophy on debut. Fantastic race for him. Really strong. Was calm, precise when he needed to be. Went for the moves. Took them off one by one, the 2 ARTs. Prema gets a win on debut. Lawrence Van Hopen from the Netherlands finishes in second position. Pole position to second on debut. That's a fantastic achievement as well. round, Leonardo Foloroli kicks off a second season in Formula 3 with a podium and third place. No longer rosewater, it's not exactly champagne, it's non-alcoholic, but it's champagne time! What a season opener for Formula 3! The sprint race has absolutely delivered. What are we going to get in the feature race tomorrow when those lights go out? 33 laps. It will be 23 laps. It will be absolutely amazing. Omi, what's been your takeaway from this season race 1 opener?
Well, my takeaways from this race are, first of all, we're going to be in for an absolutely fantastic season. The racing has been brilliant. Formula 2, I'm sure later will be brilliant as well. But Formula 3 has delivered, and I cannot wait for the future race tomorrow and the rest of the season. But we've started it off after a bit of a poor start with practice yesterday, qualifying, and the sprint has been brilliant. And Formula 3 in 2024 is looking good. And let's see who is going to win the 6th season of FIA Formula 3. It's definitely going to be a very contested championship. There could be so many drivers in contention, who knows, but this is going to be really frantic and tight all the way till the end.
F2 sprint race coming up later on. Let's take you through the results. Over to Chris McCarthy.
Did in there before we went racing again tomorrow. Here's your full result then. Arvid Lindblad. Oh, no, did he win by 5.5 seconds after that race? He takes 10 points for that win. Lawrence Van Hoopen joins him on that after he took the fastest lap. Leo Fornaroli third. Nicholas Oliver, great performance from him fourth. Tim Tramnitz on his debut fifth. Likewise Esterton. Gamplioni Mini up to 7th. Murray Boyer up from 15th to 8th. Ollie Gerber driving from 17th to 9th. Running out the points with Megatunic then. Stenchorn, well done to him, up from 22nd. Dunn, 12th place. Bedrin up to 13th place from 18th. Then it was Mantle drowning with a penalty. Mitrovic was 16th up from out of the top 20. Then we had Boysen, Montoya, but Kasper Stuka on his debut. Ramos was next up to being turned round at the start. Leon was 22nd. Sophia Flörsch continues the trend of making places. She still hasn't lost a place since returning to the championship. Then Dufek, Wisniewski, Shields, Loke, Smith, Beganovic after the incident at the start. Zagazeta retired during the race after an incident down at turn number 11.
Well, my thanks to Obi for your company in the F3 sprint. He'll be back for the F2 feature. Next up, it's the Formula 1 third practice session, followed then by the F2 sprint, and the F1 qualifying will be straight after. Thanks for your company, Obi. Thanks to you at home. F3 is underway, and if race 1's anything to go by, the next 19 are going to be great. See you soon. Bye-bye. It's the first feature race of the 2024 FIA Formula 3 Championship. It kicks off here at the Bahrain International Circuit in the Gulf State. Yesterday's sprint race was Arvid Lindblad taking a maiden victory in the series. Today, all hell will break loose. 23 laps, 30 cars in the bright morning light in the middle of the desert. Hello everybody and welcome to the feature race for FIA Formula 3 here at the Bahrain International Circuit. We're moments away from joining the live feed. Richie and Naomi alongside me in the commentary box. Jess is down in the pits. Let's cross over and sync up with the world feed. The story so far.
The FIA Formula 3 season kicked off at the Bahrain International Circuit with 30 drivers all in search of first points of the season. Season 6 began with plenty of action and drama, as always, and plenty of battles on circuit. Some drivers pushing just that little bit too hard as they went in search of points, but one driver who certainly found his rhythm was 16-year-old Arvid Lindblad as he got his first win on debut.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the FIA Formula 3 Championship, the season opener here at the Bahrain International Circuit in Shakir. It is the feature race on Saturday morning. The first time we've had a feature race on a Saturday in 3 years. It's sort of nice to feel a bit normal with it being a Saturday race for Formula 1. Alongside me in the commentary box is Richie and Omi. And Richie and Omi, both in Ferrari supporting colours today. Trying to break that Red Bull curse of qualifying yesterday. But Richie, starting with you, brand new season for FIA Formula 3, and it should be arguably very, very exciting. Yesterday was very good.
Indeed, I think this season the racing so far has been, outstanding, hasn't it? We saw battling all over the grid yesterday, obviously on Friday, and I think going into this race, there's 3 drivers I'm keeping my eye on, and the first one being Luke Browning, starting on the front row, of course, for the high-tech team, and then Santiago Ramos in P6 wasn't really an outstander last season in the Formula Regional Championship, so I'm quite keen to see what he can do, starting quite well here at his Formula 3 campaign, and also Arvid Lindblad starting in 9th position. He took a win yesterday by 5.5 seconds. We'll see if he can try and translate some of that pace into this feature race today, make some key moves up the grid.
Dino Beganovic on pole position, Luke Browning alongside, and it's Gabriel Mini and Sami Metakafu starting in 4th position. Moving further back as well, Santiago Ramos alongside Leonardo Foraroli. Yesterday, of course, 6-way fight for the win brought him right into contention. Tim Traminizzi as well starts 7th. Christian Mansell is in 8th position down on the grid. Yesterday's race winner Arvid Lindblad starts in 9th position. Max Esterson takes up with 10th position. Nikola Solov starts in 11th. Lawrence Van Hopen starts back in 12th position as well on the grid. Watch out for this specific field on rows 5 and 6. They had a much better run yesterday in the race. They've got longer race pace as well. 13th on the grid, that goes with Noel Leon. Alexander Dune alongside Marie Boria starts in 15th. Charlie Wirtz, son of Alex Wirtz, the GPDA president, starts in 16th position. Ollie Goethe starts in 17th alongside Nikita Bedrin. Callum Vossin alongside Joseph Loke. Marina Stanshaw starts in 21st. Tanasipol Interpovasak starts in 22nd position on the grid as well. 23rd, taking you down the order as well. That goes with Kasper Sutra alongside Sophia Flörsch down 24th. Mateus Agazeta starts in 25th. Joshua Joseph starts in 26th. Tommy Smith starts 27th. Puerto Wisnicki 28th. Sebastian Montoya 29th. And Clan Shields, last on the grid, starts in 30th position as well. 45 minutes for the feature race. It's 23 laps in total. And Omi yesterday, when they had 19, they were running 6 wide during that race. It was a fantastic run around.
It was an absolutely fantastic start to Season 6. It was absolutely fantastic. So much battling, and the battle for the lead especially, that took place between the ARTs. It started off, then it started inviting more and more drivers. So it was an absolutely fantastic race, and Lindblad was able to take the lead and just get away with everyone battling for second, and it seems like he was able to keep his tyres all the way for the end of that race. But now we're going to be in for the feature race. Pretty similar, just a few extra laps, a bit more of tyre work needed for some of the drivers, but no pit stops, of course, in FIA Formula 3 unless you absolutely need to. It's Luke Browning, though, who starts in second. Dino Beganovic, after picking up a puncher yesterday, is going to start on pole.
Let me know if the TV pictures go off anytime during the race. I'll get them sorted for you as the green light goes on and the formation lap is underway here. Literally, if the TV pictures go off, give me a holler and I can reset them. Jess is down in the pit lane forwards as well for Formula 3. Jess, F3 back. It's always an action-packed race, and what are you looking forward to coming into the feature?
I think, obviously, since it's the first feature race, we need to know how their long runs are going to do, about their tyres as well. Can they make it to the end with a few extra laps, obviously with the no pit stops as well? Lindblad take a very good win yesterday, and he's off on the good foot as well. But Beganovic, I expect really great things from him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do. And it's first time it's on the Saturday, so it should be a good one. Can't wait.
We'll hear from the top 3 shortly. Beganovic got pole position, of course, in the qualifying on Friday. And it was all like how we've all sort of coordinated. I'm wearing a nice red Bahraini style shirt. Let's hear from the top three.
It advances in the races, so we'll try to get a good start, see how it goes, try to position myself well for T1, and then try to manage the tires better than the others, you know. So yeah, of course we want to try and win, but once again, trying to maximize the points is the key.
I hope we all get around turn 1 cleanly, but I can't promise anything. In true F3 fashion, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be tight, and we all want to win. We all want to win on the F1 paddock and in front of everyone here. And yeah, I think that's what we're fighting for. But equally, yeah, being smart, using your brain. It's a long championship. This is round 1, and yeah, if I finish where I start, I won't be upset.
I'm not sure what to expect at the moment, but hopefully just to have a good start. Our race runs look pretty good on the test as well, so yeah, I can't wait to just go out racing again. Feel the adrenaline before starting the race, standing on the grid. Miss that feeling. It's been a while since Monza, so I can't wait.
The top three there of Gabriel Mini, Luke Browning, and then Dino Beganovic starting in pole position. Remember, if we have anything with safety cars and virtual safety cars, there will no need for pitting. No pit stops are a necessity in Formula 3 feature races, like they are in Formula 2, judging by the 23-lap rule as well. It's a straight fight until the end, and it's sort of nice to have the sprint feature back, because for one season we had 2 sprint races and then a feature, and then for a number of years in Formula 3 it was literally just race 1 and race 2, because they had the same lap distance as they muddled around with the format. But they came to their senses and returned it to a sprint race and then the feature. They just swapped them around, because it used to be the feature race, then the sprint race. But it makes more sense to have it this way, because then we get all the big events on one day. And Richie, they're lining up on the grid, and this is going to be the big one, because it's down to turn 1. Cold tyres, cold brakes could lock up, and 30 cars piling to a very tight first corner. Could be chaos.
It will be. I think, obviously, we had the sprint race earlier on, but I think the feature race is where we really get to see kind of who's got the upper step in that, you know, having the first upper, you know, impression in this championship, to see who we could see fighting for it. Obviously, we know Arvid Lindblad did have a good race yesterday, but that was from, you know, he was near the top because obviously starting down in 9th. Today it's a completely different top 4, so we'll see what they can do. Obviously, Beganovic, we saw nothing of him yesterday because of his puncture.
Yeah.
Today he's not going to worry about that, hopefully. Down into turn 1, and Browning can hopefully avoid a penalty this afternoon. I think the penalty was a little bit harsh from the FIA yesterday, so we'll see if he can try and avoid a 10-second penalty here today.
I mean, that's one of those. Beganovic yesterday got that puncture, and now I'll have to interrupt because the lights are going to come on, because they've lined up in awfully quickly 30 cars on that grid. Full field alongside us. Get ready for those 5 red lights. Yesterday's sprint race gave us a lot of action, a lot of interest. What will today's feature bring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and the first feature race is underway. Lights out. Good start from Beganovic. Great start from Gabriel Mini. But oh, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Beganovic is not going anywhere. Are they all going to get around him safely? Yes. In towards turn number 1. It's the lead of the race for Luke Browning. Into second position goes Gabriel Mini. He'll fight that one hard. Up into it's Metcalfe's taking second. Brilliant stuff from him. Down into third. There's a spinner in the back. A little bit of dust being kicked up there as well. Further back by Steinshaw off the track, but Beganovic not getting going, and he is just hurtled down to the back. And I mean, that's exactly what happened yesterday. It's not worked out for Beganovic.
Not what he needed in the feature races. We see Lindblad try to go round the outside in the mid pack of 1 of the ART. He's trying there to get past Lawrence Van Hopen, and also we see down the inside make his way is Mansell, as we will have Luke Browning in the lead. That is a great start by Luke Browning, exactly what he wanted, and Sami Megatunic up to second position. Great start by him.
Richard's just not going anywhere. Now we're seeing lockups further back from Montoya, trying to get around the outside of Sophia Flush, but a great start from Browning. Metcalfe up to second position. Chapmanitzi's up to 3rd, and look at that for Gabriel Mini, from 3rd to 6th.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there to him. He must have got caught out somewhere between turns 2 and turns 4. But big shame, of course, for Dino Beganovic. Just got off the line nowhere. There must be an engine issue or something with the car. Big shame indeed. But we can see many decisions being made by many drivers, lots of Nicholas Solov up into P7, started down in 11th, and also quite a poor start, of course, for Mini, and also Fornaroli, who's down P8, we can see a little bit of battle here. Car 17 as they head down towards turn 14 and 15, and we'll see many drivers fighting 2-3 wide. As these F3 cars a lot smaller than Formula 1, meaning you can afford to go a little bit more, you know, feisty towards some of these braking zones.
Adrian, I think that was, partling with Goethe and Dune as well. Mansell up to 4th position, Ramos down into 5th. Across the line we go then, 1 lap complete as they will continue on for the remainder in towards the first corner, going 3 wide. They have to be careful. 5 wide, further back, now 4 wide. That never works out. It's going to be a little bit of contact, a little careful. Few cars running off the track. Yellow flags out in sector 1. We're going wide off the track there was Charlie Verts coming back through. That's going to be Bedrin on the inside line. And Boyer battling up there too as we see more drama as Van Hopen tries to get ahead of Lindland in the 3 wide at the exit of turn 4, coming into the San June section, and Esterson getting in there too, sliding, and a puncture. I think it's got a puncture, rear left puncture. That's for Murray Boyer. Boyer with a puncture off the track, and that's not good. He's got to be careful now into that braking zone. Yellow flag out sector 1, yeah, rear left puncture.
Yeah, big show there for Boyer. I was just going to say he's had a brilliant start. He's doing quite a decent job in the first end of the championship, but now that'll pretty much be his race done. And Dusty, we can still see people battling, locking up in towards turn 10. Here comes the contact there between 2 of the cars as they head into that braking zone. But I think, to be fair, with these cars being so, you know, flimsy, I think we can see many overtakes down in towards that turn 10 braking zone. We can see there a few cars battling through as well. That'll be, I believe, was Alex Dunn fighting towards turn 11, and also 2 more cars. That's Joseph Floke having a battle off the circuit as they head up in towards turn 12 and 13. And of course, I've got a bit of bias for Joseph Floke. Josh, as me and you both have the luxury to commentate him in the PSLE a couple of months back.
We did indeed. Nice to have him in the championship as they come through once again. Meantime, the action is keeping up as I've completely lost the guys in the commentary. I don't know what's happened there. Discord's shut down, so that's what's happened there. Typical when we need it most. Yeah, Discord just literally crashed on us, so apologies, we've got it back. Anyway, across the line we go then, still in a battle as they head down towards turn 1, as we're seeing Sebastian Montoya try and launch up the inside line. Not exactly going into a great position, unfortunately. If anyone's got any idea, Discord just completely being non-negotiable today, it seems. It's just crashing every single time we try to use it. Forlaroli side by side with Solov as he comes up towards turn 4 in the braking zone, and Forlaroli moves up into 7th position, gets ahead of Solov in a great manoeuvre. And now we just try and breathe as they come down again to the San June section. But I tell you what, this has been a great start, Obi, as well. And it's akin to what we saw yesterday. Omi?
Yeah, absolutely. Similar to what we saw yesterday. And Tim Kravenitz has been passed as well. Here comes Mansell down the inside of Tim Kravenitz, and it seems like he's going to be passed again. And that's a change for third as the ART driver goes. But yeah, exactly what we saw yesterday. So great to be seeing it once again here. We were expecting something similar because it's just a few today and a bit more of Tyson. But other than that, it's basically the same. So that's what we kind of expected.
Yeah, it's gone off again.
Again, Josh, once again.
Oh.
The TV picture's not logging us too much today.
Really kind today.
We can see for a split second the battling back on screen. Bogdanovic has the fastest lap. He's down in 26. Couldn't have gone any worse for him. And I said, hopefully he can avoid a puncture. It wasn't a puncture, it was an engine issue. Or at least he made a big mistake. Heading off the line and pole down to 26. And it looks like no points in the opening round here for Dino Bogdanovic. But there's still a long championship to go. Still many more races. So I think he can definitely try and claw himself back. But Luke Brown with a good start, obviously now hidden race ahead of Megatune from Mansell into third ahead of Travnitz, who started down in P7. So very good start from them, and Ramos as well making one position into the top 5. Mini, he's going to try and work his way back. But then again, last season, we did see many times the starts. You know, Mini did normally lose a couple of positions on the starts.
Yeah. Especially in the feature race, he got a couple of them out, didn't he? And now we're seeing, again, great start from Metcalfe. Going to get it up into the lead of the race as we're seeing battles further back. Follow early, trying to get ahead of Mini. Ramos in there too, on board with Mini, who's trying to now pass Ramos as they come down in towards the San June section. Just keep it together. Jess, what did you make of that start then?
Can Bogdanovic get some good luck? I mean, that was just cruel. I mean, he had the same issue yesterday and he's got the same issue today. It's just a bit of a shame because I wanted to see what he did. And speaking of Bogdanovic, this is what happened, Josh.
Many difference, not getting a great start from the left-hand side of the grid, but Richie, he just went nowhere and I was lucky that no one hit him.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one hit him. Normally, when we see something like that, normally someone ends up having a bit of an incident. So, congrats to all the drivers for making it through without obviously colliding with the Prema car. So, yet again, we can see them all going 3-2 wide in towards turn number 1, and they all made it through quite clearly, which is good to see. A few people go a little bit too deep in this interview from Luke Brennan. You can see Dino got a good initial start, but then the car went nowhere, and then obviously Luke Brennan, you can see fly through the gears as he heads down to turn 1. And will, I suppose, not be quite happy that Dino had an issue, but he won't mind that the fact he's leading the race, and we can see this is on board with Oliver Gerther in towards turn 1 and 2, and EK in close to contact of Link here with, didn't that bomb be Nikita Vedrin?
Yeah, going way off the track Omi as well, and everyone did so well, but then it was 3 wide in the mid-pack as well, and I think that punch just happened from Mario Boy. I don't think it was contact with anyone.
Yeah. No, the punch happened before the corner, didn't it? And that's when his rear snapped out. And luckily, didn't collect the car on his inside, so a really good job from him to keep the car, I suppose, under a little bit of control. You can see there, yeah, big punch there for Mario Boy. And as I was saying before, last season compared to this season, I'd say he's had quite an upward swing, hasn't he?
Yeah. Up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely has as well. Lap number 5 of this race. Sammy Megatunif still giving chase, all of them in a train, so we're not starting to see too many different trains form. They're all right now just following each other, waiting for their opportunities. But we know that, but we know from yesterday in the field we've got a lot of late breakers in here, so I'm sure they're going to be attempting stuff into turn number 1. But Sammy Megatunif electing to sit behind so far, not really going for it. But here comes Mansell down the inside.
Mansell taking the 5, and that's quite ironic considering the name says. Fantastic! He's gone right round the outside now, retaking that position against Metakavi, but Mansell's on the inside of turn 10. Mansell forced him by. Great move at 9 and 10. You never see that. But now we got Metakunif with the DOS. Traminitzi's in there too as they pull down the back straight away. Pulls to the outside. And Sammy's going to make that move. Mansell's going to make it hard for him though to stick it. And Mansell takes it. Yep, he's got it. Great move there from the two. Great respect, I feel, as well, because it would be easy to run each other off the road there to get the position, but a good respect.
Of course, brilliant there between the two. You could see, you know, many points close to contact, and they both had trust in each other that they could battle side by side, and it was brilliant between the two. And you saw for a second Tim Trent's looking for a move, and this is into turn 1 here. That's a bit of a big send there by car number 3, which will be, of course, Lindblad, who obviously had a brilliant race last time, so took the win by 5 seconds, and we know that's it's very easy to pull away once people are battling. You can see that. I believe he's fighting with who would that have been? Car 26. Would that have been Uberzak?
Solov. The person he battled with yesterday. And they continue battling down to turn 1 in the battle for second.
Around the outside line, and that's going to be hard then for Metakunov to keep off the position. Chaminitz is going to be getting the better exit as they come up the hill towards turn 4. Boy is under investigation for speeding in the pit lane. As you see, Metakunov going defensive, and here comes Chaminitz to the inside line. He's going to go for it. No, chooses the outside line. Nearly gives a position to Ramos, and Mini's nearly running into the back of him as well. So they've all got to be a little bit careful coming through turn 4. Great exit though from Chaminitz. And he just can't get it through into the break zone. Here's Mini's radio.
Let's hear from him. They're fighting in front. We need to use this opportunity. Come on.
Go, basically.
Yeah, really neat.
No radio after that as well. So just go. Go for a move. Go for an overtake. Take that opportunity and just launch up the inside. See where you can get to as they swing into turn 10 and down the back straight towards turn 11.
Of course, look at that gap now, 1.3 seconds between Browning and Mansell. So this is a very good situation for Browning just to try and pull away. Not maybe a knot, but just keep that. We can see, a penalty for Mary Boyer. What will it be? As we'll see come on the board, 5-second penalty for Mary Boyer also to go along with that puncture. Big shame indeed for Mary. We'll see what he can do to try and try and compensate for some of those unlucky moments here at the start of this race. And we can see there Browning leading the way ahead of Mansell. Megatunic in third, and Tramlin still running in fourth. Good race from him so far. Obviously, I think he was in the Formula Regional Championship last year, so it's good to see him now make his step up in towards the FIA Formula 3 Championship, along with many of the drivers on this grid. Ramos, I believe, Lindblad as well, also racing on that side of motorsport. You can see there, turn 3 incident involving Stenshawn, and that'll be in for Hubazak. That'll be no further investigation. So look for those to get away with that penalty, because the stewards aren't being very nice, are they?
No, not. And Amy's about to have a rant about the fact that yesterday a driver was forced off the track, remained in position, got a 10-second penalty. My boy for speeding the pits, and he gets a 5. So yeah, I can sense your brain getting angry at me.
Typical FIA. stuff as well. Into turn 4, it does currently seem like Dun's lost a lot of time. He's under all sorts of pressure. Here comes Noah Leon as well on Max Esterson to the inside. Let's see if we can try and make the move into turn number 4.
Oh, off the track goes Esterson as well, and Benjamin keeping it on, still side by side. And yep, good job from Leon. He goes through. Bedrin went wide, and here comes the outside runner. That's going to be a great move for Nikita Bedrin. That's going to be tied. Don't. He's done it. Ran the outside of turn 8. I did not expect that from Bedrin. And now his team.
Move and then.
Yeah, Vert's going up the inside of Esterson.
Oh, bit of contact for a second between the two. So they head back down towards turn 10, and yeah, teammates here. And they'll head down side by side. Who will be ahead in towards turn 11? I think it might be obviously Vert's being up the inside. Gets the move done brilliant there from Verts, but you can see there obviously Esterson went for a bit of a move, didn't work, and then you can kind of get swamped by the rest of the field. We can see the car behind obviously being in for approvers. That we'll see if he can try and gain in, I believe. If that is him, of course, in car number 15, I'm not quite sure. They'll head down towards turn number 14 again, and it's still hard getting used to some of these numbers here on these cars. You can never figure out who's who.
No, I can't either. Stein Shaw's in the 15, Ichipopazak's in the 26. 15 laps to go though. I'm on the clean-up. Racing continues. And here we go.
Get some more.
Yeah, because Stanshaw's pulling to the inside line. Down the start finish straight home and getting a nice groove on with the DRS.
Yeah, trying to get past now on the inside. Esterson now comes over to cover the inside line instead. And to stand up pull into Pruvazak is also waiting for his opportunity in the PHM car as well. Let's see now. Better exit possibly for Stanshall. The position as they come onto the stage. Both will of course have DRS. So you've got to turn 4 or break early and try to under. Let's see which foot in.
Again, round the outside, but Steinshaw's got that position to the sand dune section. If he can hold on round the outside of 5, and yet Esterson backs out. So,
yeah, brilliant move there indeed from Steinshaw.
Martin Steinshaw doing absolutely wonderfully there in his first weekend in FIA Formula 3. Browning's only got 7/10 now to Mansell, by the way, so that's closing up.
It is, hasn't it? Yeah, Browning's kind of been left a little bit napping, hasn't he?
Oh, Browning's radio.
Mansell pushing hard within DRS now.
I thought I was going to say we've got an issue. Oh no. But luckily no. Mansell's pushing hard. Look at that gap, 4.5 tenths already. Yeah. We could see Mansell looking to try and take the lead here as they head down to turn 1 because he's really, put his foot in it. I say he's gained what? He's at second in this past lap, and you can see him there charging down towards turn number 14 and 15. And then we could see Brady have to push a little bit more on these tyres. And Megatuniv sitting behind, he's 7 tenths back. He needs to be careful not to lose the DRS. So does Tramnitz and Ramos.
All the top 10 that are fighting for all the points are within a second of each other. You can see them on the straight now. The top 11 are involved in this battle as well as they head down to someone who is. So Browning's very much going to be mugged if he doesn't keep the lead of this race because he won't have the DRS. Everyone else will be able to breeze past him and lose his momentum and clean out the front. As we see, Mansell closing now 0.6 of a second as he comes out of turn 3 up towards 4, Omi. And we're offline. The laptop's lost internet connection.
Been a pretty bad weekend other than the Thursday for him.
Hello, we are back. Internet lost connection.
Yep, the TV pictures are back, at least on both screen. They're just getting themselves all sorted out. And obviously, so you can see gaining in, but never enough to try and make a move, of course, in towards that first DRS. So we can see further back, Bogdanovic making some moves. It's down to 26th earlier on now, into 21st, getting past etc. and Loke, of course, on the previous lap. We'll see if he can still try and scrape a point, but I don't think that'll really be that possible for the Ullman. So we'll see what he can do, though. You never know what can happen, of course, in the Formula 3 racing. But Lindblad also with a decent start up into 8th. Now he's down to 10th at one point in the race. Solov as well and Van Hope, and they've had a good start, getting themselves both into the top 10 and ART there. All in the top 10 along with Trident as well, having their 3 drivers. This is Dino Bogdanovic. Bit of a replay here. This was down to turn 1, I believe, wasn't it, Omi?
Yeah, definitely. Gaining on, so you've got Pazagazetted, and it's got the slipstream on local, 3 wide into turn 1, and then just out braking the two of them there. That was Montoya also getting ahead of into Pruvazak just ahead there, but Beganovic late on the brakes, and Joseph Loke still battling with Takazeta, locking up there as well. Onto the straight we go with the battle for the lead. But yeah, Beganovic will need a lot of chaos, a lot of safety cars, and a lot of retirement to try maybe scrape a point. Anything is possible though, as we're about to get into half race distance, but Browning still is still holding the lead, but Mansell is putting some incredible pressure on.
I'll throw in as well with Megatunov and Chiminati. They're going to be right there in a few seconds' time as the entire field now bunching back up together nicely. But it's lap 10 of 22. We've still got more than half the race to go. Beganovic's race isn't done. That's it.
No.
He could get into the points.
It could be definitely possible, yes. As you can see, obviously Solov has lost the 1 second gap to Lindblad, so he'll be struggling a little bit more now to try and pull himself along. He's got obviously Van Hopen and Goethe with him. We can see another battle here in towards turn number 4. This will be, I think, Esterson and Montoya. They're battling for position. Montoya started, was it back in 29? He's now in 17. We'll fight with 17. Brilliant race from him. So far, we can see him still behind the back of Esterson, obviously originated over on the R Racing platform. So nice to see more sim racers obviously getting their opportunities, and there all the way in FIA Formula 3. He's not doing too bad of a job at all, is he, Josh?
Yep, Montoya started back in 29th, as you said, and not a bad stuff from Joseph Loke and Esterson. All getting in, doing really well done. I'm loving Formula 3, and it's the year of the iRaces and eSport drivers. William Byron winning the Daytona 500, and last night as well in the Truck Series, another winner from eSports taking a maiden victory. So eSports now very much is a way into professional racing. As again, we're now trying to see Montoya get back ahead of Esterson as they come into turn 13. Just ask as well, Jana Watmere, who's taken up racing as well and was even at
Lewis
the...
Blakely.
What? Yeah, Lewis Blakely, yeah.
All of them pretty much at this point, all the good drivers. And you know,
James
I raced
Baldwin.
F1, James Baldwin. You could literally name so many off your finger. It's brilliant, isn't it, to see esports get recognised more as part of the sport itself. And we obviously had what's his name there? Was it a 2017 driver who got himself into Formula 2 back in 2017 driver, wasn't he? I can't remember what his name was now. A Turkish driver. Yes, that's it.
Oh, Mansell radio.
There's quite a lot of smoke coming from Browning's engine.
Oh, Richie, you've cursed him!
Well, there we are. I cursed Beganovic by saying that it should go far down to turn 1. Now, Browning's got an issue after I said, has he got an issue? And, well, here we are.
Richie, you idiot!
I could have changed I've changed the top 2 in this race. They'll be paying me, Pride and Will.
Esterson's gone down. We're listening. Yeah, that's a problem.
See, I'm
the
not
car
good enough to
sounds
know.
weird.
Yeah, but the mic's also weird, so I don't know. It's hard to tell unless we can see the smoke.
It sounds stupid, but is that a spark plug loose? It sounds like.
Just sound like a 1980s MG.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. If it was an MG, it'd sound quite nice, but it's a Formula 3 car. It's not meant to sound like an MG. But I think a spark plug's come loose on that. He can run it on cylinders, it's fine.
Well,
but,
Josh, if that's race, get out of the comment box and get into the garage.
Big roll. One engine. You can hear it. It could just be the exhaust loop and you can hear it crackling. Don't worry too much, take his pace is okay.
They think it's the exhaust banging.
It's loose. Or they're just hoping. Let's hope it, let's hope that it is on the exhaust having a bit of a move. As they head back down to turn 1, you can see there Mansell not even looking to make a move. Switch the DRS off before he even started braking there into turn number 1 and still sitting behind the back of Luke Brendan. He knows that he's not going to be able to pull a 1 second gap. So sit behind and use the DRS, and then you can go for that last lap charge to get yourself into the lead. We can see, of course, further back now, Solov losing even more time to that top 8 train. And the likes of Lindblad for a rolling mini can't really get any moves where they are in P6, 7 and 8. They're just kind of stuck behind in this long DRS train. As we can see further back, Esterson now down to P21. I'm not sure if he's also got an issue. As obviously we can see Callum voicing into the top 20 now on the grid, and we can see there no further investigation between Boyer and Van Hopen. So I believe that was the incident which could have caused a puncture earlier in the race, of course, for Boyer, unless that's something else that's happened, but I don't think that is really the case. But at the moment, who's everyone's pick a winner? I know we're about halfway through, but who's everyone think is going to clutch it at the end?
Mansell.
What are you on me, Jess?
I'm gonna
Browning.
go where?
Jess staying with Browning. What about you, Omi?
Right, okay.
He's thinking, Josh. Bear with.
I'm gonna,
I was trying to have a look.
I'm gonna go with Tim Travanitz.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll go with Megatunic
Not a bad
then.
move.
We'll go with the top 4.
Okay, 4 commentators all thinking the top 4. Poor Ramos and Mini.
Well, what do you get to win? Joking.
I'm having a look. I was trying to see Browning's floor as he came out the last corner. I couldn't see him correctly on the track, but 10 to go. Can he hold off on it? And if it is the exhaust banging, if that falls off, obviously the whole car just immediately shuts down.
Or excessive wear. That's the last thing he wants. Or something
Yeah.
flying off a little bit of part of the exhaust. Let's hope that is the case and he can just get to the end safely with that car. Obviously part of the high-tech team doing a good job to open up the championship. And I think he's one of the drivers, Josh, going into this, you can say, yeah, he's going to be fighting for the championship.
Yeah, 110%.
Especially after the Macau win as well last year. Added a lot of pressure on him for this season. We are looking further back. This was Max Esterson and Matthias Zagazzetta, the two JBMotorsports teammates.
Bit of contact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not ideal. This is Fornaroli heading down to turn 10. What happens here to him? Does he brake a little bit too late? He does. Locks up the front. Ooh, a bit close to Mini there as he heads in, but that's an issue, isn't it? That turn 10. You can lock up the inside front so easy. Once you've locked it up, there is no getting out of it.
Yeah, because you trail brake in, so you're turning and braking and just dragging the tyres in while turning. It's not the way you brake in a Formula car as well. You just lock up immediately. It's a brilliant corner, 9 and 10. Really is good. We don't have many of them on the F1 calendar. We really should. Because it levels everybody out. It's a good opportunity for an overtake. Think about Alonso and Hamilton last year at the same part of the track. Earlier on in this very race, in fact, as well, with Mansell. Great moves.
The two gens are swapping around once again. And Esterson. And Esterson has dropped down. He was up in P17 earlier on. He's now down to P22. So I'm not sure if he's just not quite comfortable with the car. But he looked comfortable yesterday. So I'm not sure what's going on there for him. You can see here as they head down towards turn number 1. I'm going to move between Mansell and Browning. You can see Mansell looking to get in, but never enough to even think about making a move into turn 1. It seems the slipstream isn't really as heavy as it looked yesterday for some reason.
Yeah. All wide and off, yeah. Browning's engine. Sounds wrong. Bert's passes Stanshaw for 14th position. Where's Sophia Flörsch got to? 28th position.
28.
No, it's not her style of track, this one. Right, let's have a look then. 14 of Luke Browning leading, Mansell second, Megatunic in third, Triminazzi followed then as well by Lindblad. Alvin Lindblad, who won yesterday, made his way up from 11th to 9th. Sorry, 8th now, he's past Solov. Oh! Off the track goes Ramos and loses a place. And Mini just behind him now. So Ramos getting caught on the curb.
He's lost the 1 second gap though temporarily. Can he get it back as they head up the hill into turns 12 and 13? No, he can't yet. 1.094 seconds is the gap. It's up to 1.1. This could be good for Mini now and Fornaroli and Lindblad to try and gain in and make a move ahead of the guy in 5th. Big shame from us to go wide at the exit turn 10, but we know it happens in Formula 1, 2 and 3. It's quite a tricky corner and easy to get wrong. So we should be possibly seeing a move here from the from Mini. So head down towards turn number 1, and I think he's been waiting a little bit now for this move, hasn't he? But he just wants to get it done now, unless Ramos can just make it the DRS here.
Mini's radio.
Time to push now, mate. Time to push.
Yep, got it right. Time to push. In towards turn number 1. Looks to the inside line. Brakes ever so lightly. You'll get the run. Super slow to that first corner. Mini's had a terrible exit. So yeah, he screwed it up there.
Yeah, he's not going to be close enough to make a move, is he, at all? The gap, what, 4.3 tenths of a second, gets to about 3, and can't really do much from there.
Let's have a listen to. Oh, it's I know what that beat was. It was the FIA Formula 2 grid, and there it was. So it was side by side. Giovinazzi forcing off Ramirez. Let's have a look. No, I stand corrected. He just went too deep.
Oh, Josh, you're gone again.
Oh, right.
TV pictures.
Right, can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Right.
Discord being Discord, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there we go.
Discord, brilliant. What a service.
Apparently there's lag on other people's lines. It's lagging me, so that explains it. Discord's just being unpredictable as ever. Good, I thought you two frozen then. You were just in the same pose for ages, and I was like, what's going on? I was looking at you saying...
looking at the stream. I was looking at the stream and seeing Nathan and Obi's faces.
I was like, have you frozen?
Frozen.
And I'm like talking to no one again.
Wow. What? Oh, Browning.
Oh.
Here.
Yes,
Ooh,
look.
Put that inside. Oh, something's flapping around a little bit too much. Oh,
Has he got a puncher?
No, look in the back of the car.
The engine cover, it's come loose.
You can
on
see
the
something
side.
moving around inside, which is definitely not ideal. That could,
I'm in the
hopefully not-
pits and I've jinxed Browning. Great.
Well, you can take the blame for this one then, Jess. I'll take the blame for Ganovic. You take the blame for Browning, and we'll call it even then. As we can see, more moves being made down to turn 1. That's Van Hopen there making a move ahead of Goethe. Goethe going to try and fight back up the inside.
Oh, he's got
towards turn number 1. He's got a decent move there. We can see behind as well in the MP car. Alexander Dunn. I completely forgot then what car it was, and I don't know why, but the orange MP should be the easiest car to remember, and I couldn't remember its name.
Side by side, Santiago Ramirez and Gabriel Mini in a battle. Mini, who came so close to the championship last year with Gabriel Bortoletto. And now Bortoletto's on pole position in Formula 2, and Mini struggling in Formula 3 for his 5th position. How unlucky has he been this weekend?
Big shame, big shame, of course, for Gabriel Mini. But we'll see what he can do as the race to get on. There's what? Is it 24 races this season, isn't there, or something like that?
Same as Formula 1.
So, yep, a long way to go for all of these drivers. And many fantastic venues they'll take underway. And unfortunately, speaking about timings and venues, after Saudi Arabia, the next 3 Formula 1 races are all at early morning for us, as we can see Oliver Goethe there, obviously making, well, trying to fight back after a move being made on him. It's one brilliant move there.
And then after that, it's a late night race on a Sunday from Miami. So the first one, yeah, the first UK and European friendly time zone is round 7 at Monza. And Croft is not even there. Yeah, in May, yeah. And Croft is not even there.
Wait, Monza's in May this season?
Yeah.
Well, you sure it's not Imola?
Are you sure it's not Imola, Josh?
Yeah, I mean Imola.
Oh dear me, Josh, you're getting mixed up already. We're not even sort of the rain race. He's getting Monza and Imola mixed up, and they're two entirely different tracks. Josh, have they driven you crazy yet?
Well, Autodromo and then Enzo and Dino Ferrari, and Autodromo in Monza. Yeah, that's so yeah. As we see, Bogdanovic back up to 15th position. Yeah, sorry, I mean Imola is in May. So that's the first one, is Emilia Romagna. It's because they're both scheduled on the calendar as the Italian Grand Prix. I always get them confused.
They should have the Imola Grand Prix, or the San Marino Grand Prix, because it is in San Marino, isn't it? Not.
No, it's in Emilia.
Italy.
It's in Emilia Romagna in Imola, in Italy. But they used to call it San Marino. The same is actually the same for MotoGP's San Marino Grand Prix. It's actually in Rimini in Italy. They just hire the track. Yeah. Confuses everyone.
Well, they should make it simpler for us, and also we have, what, 3 American Grand Prix?
Could be 4.
Which I still only class one of them as a real one. I don't class Las Vegas and Miami as a real circuit. I can't stand the tracks. But COTA, brilliant. Honestly, COTA's the exception. Yeah. It's probably one of my top 5 tracks, honestly. It's a beautiful flowing circuit.
I say if you want to have 3 races in America, you have 1 at Indianapolis, 1 at COTA, and 1 at Vegas or Long Beach, maybe. Put us back at Long Beach. Yeah.
Mini.
Then again, I say that Long Beach for IndyCar is the most boring race on the calendar unless it rains, meaning it's off the track. And it never rains at Long Beach in California.
Doesn't it? Oh wait, no, it's California, isn't it?
We've never had rain there. It's very, very rare we have rain at Long Beach.
I suppose the issue is as well, it's quite hot, so we'd have to have like a night race, wouldn't we? It being quite hot in that part of the world, and we can see the top 4 follow each other down. 5 laps to go here in this race, and Kramnik's looking to gain in here on the back of Mega Tunic, who's lost some time from the top 2 as they enter in towards turn 1, and Mansell still sticking behind the back of Browning. Further back, we can see the car with the train of 4.
You say if it... Oh, Browning.
So Mansell's starting to struggle in sector 2, Luke. One more round before we start the turn screw.
So you do want to screw this. Just turn up the dial and go for it. Rich fuel max.
Oh, push, push, push.
Is it? If Long Beach was a night race, it would be a Monday morning race for us, so they'd have to make it a Saturday race like they did in Vegas.
Oh yeah, they would. Well, they wouldn't have to. They would do it on purpose to annoy us by making it a Monday morning race, wouldn't they?
Probably. I mean, we're racing on a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'll take the college. Sorry, I'm turning up 2 hours late. F1's more important.
We are on a Saturday for the first time. Well, I know last year's Formula 1 race in Vegas was on a Saturday for them. But it's the first time...
It was a Sunday for us.
Yes, and it's the first time it's the first time the European UK timeline have had a race on a Saturday since 1982, South Africa, when the season started on a Saturday.
It's been quite a long time. So it's also the first time we've had a season opener on a Saturday, then, isn't it, since 1982?
Yep, and it's the earliest start to a Formula 1 season since the 1992 South African Grand Prix at Kyalami. But also, it is the earliest start since 2002.
Oh.
3rd of March.
Wait, so when did it start last year, the season? Was it mid-March?
March, yeah.
It was the 5th of March, so it was a few days later.
So it's not that much different then?
Few days, yeah. But it's the longest season as well. It is physically the longest season in both of length and duration. Hang on a minute, because we've got Mansell on the back of Browning as well. And at the inside, that's going to be a brave dive bomb from Santiago Ramirez, getting ahead of Chiminazzi, making move 2. So they're all closing in now. Chiminazzi's up to 3rd position.
Really nice move there from Kramnik to get himself into P3. We can see further back Gabriel Mini looking to cling on to that 1 second gap for the DRS. We can see Leon past Van Hopen for P12. We can see Zagazeta past into Pruvazak, and also Bedrin past Montoya. Montoya still battling for P17. And Kramnik's lost the DRS.
4 to go, Luke. Let's push, please.
Yeah, push. Get rid of him. But the problem is they're telling the radios, so Mansell can hear that, and he'll be relayed the same information. So they'll just both push.
He's already pushed, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Early back on, didn't he? He brought that gap there, and he's pushed his tyres quite hard. They're pulling away from Kramnik and Mega Tunic and Ramos as well in P5, also without some DRS. So he's gone off again, isn't it? Oh, Fornaroli this time. So it was Ramos, Mini and Fornaroli all going off at turn 10 in this race, and all looking to still keep DRS on each other, but Mansell's not letting Browning get away at all. The gap 5.7 tenths of the second as they head up towards turn 12, and this could be a cracking battle to the end, because Mansell could be looking for a move in the next lap.
Fornaroli down to 7th place now as well. Lindblad is right there. Let's have a look at what happened to him. So his tyres are shredded on those hards as it comes out of 8.
Yeah, they are.
Runs up the hill to 9 and 10. I reckon he'll lock up.
Not the inside front, yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah. Big lock up there. That is not good for you can see where the tyre's locked up.
That's insane. 3 to go. Mansell's got that gap down to 5 tenths with that DRS. Take a look there at Lindblad closing in with Fornaroli, and Gabriel Mini just ahead with Ramos in the positioning too. Forget the battle for 5, 6, 7 and 8. We need to love the battle for 1, 2.
Yeah, and 9 and 10. We can see Solov and Girth again a bit scrappy as they head through turn 1.
Girth has got ahead of Solov.
Indeed, and Van Hopen still fighting there with Leon. For Peter on P13. Oh, look at them. They're close together as they head in towards turn number 4. It's going to be Celotron to go a long way around. Can't do so. Sits behind.
And
then Anderson looking to...
Are we looking at Goethe? Yeah. Side by side.
Yellow.
Yellow flag. What's happened on the track? That's into Provozac though. The 20 is that 26 or 25? Can't see. It's 26. That's into Provozac. Yellow flag's out in turn 1, and it's gone green. So that was it. That's into Provozac now getting past. Is that right?
Wait, it looks like 2 different numbers.
What's happened here? Because it's Alex Dune in 9th, but that's 25. But it looks like 26.
Yeah, it looks like 26 is it on the front, and that's right. I said it earlier. I said 26. I'm like, no,
yeah.
that's
So
not right.
that's sort of Limblad. So yeah, on one angle it looks like the 26. I was thinking, oh, that's into Provozac, but it's the 25. So that's
it looks very close to a 6.
And this is what's happened to Durfett down to turn 1? He's in a battle. Oh, wait a minute. Is he locked out? What's he done? Oh, he got spun round.
That would have been from Keen Shields.
Yeah. He's running down the order. Stupid move there from Shields, to be fair.
Yeah, big lock-up, of course, into turn 1. Oh, and that was Joseph Loke there, I think. Oh, we Linktree have to try to avoid that one. That was the closest one to contact. And look at the tyres. They're shredded, aren't they? You can see when the paint's sticking to those hard compound tyres here in the on the F3 cars. We can see as well the gap between the leaders, 0.7 of a second. So Mansell is, being pulled away by Bryan. That gap 7.5 tenths of a second, 3/4 of a second separating the two. And then obviously you can see Travnit, Megatuni, Ramos all without DRS. A big lock-up down to turn 1. That would have been Stenshorn there. Car number 15 and Bogdanovic looking to try and pick up the scraps. He's into P13. Brilliant race from him, considering where he was after the first lap.
Yeah, Leon locked up, and then Stancho locked up, and now Bogdanovic is going to try and go around the outside at turn number 4, trying to hook line and sinker with the inside line of the cutback, gets on the power early, will be able to pull side by side, and that's going to be a great move from Bogdanovic if he keeps his foot to the floor, and he's done so. Great move from Bogdanovic, but what could have been? Just quickly on that one, I think the FIA are going to have to step in there with the 25 car, because that number looks like the other, and that's not good enough. It's against the rules, because it looks like 2 different numbers the way the font is, so they'll have to change that.
Yeah. That's why I noticed it. I thought, is that info proves that? Because I thought he didn't run the Alpine looking livery, and then I saw it's like the time to 25. Yeah, it is quite confusing. The numbers look very similar. I've seen these
I thought it was Zagazito.
3 cars.
Yeah. I thought it was battling with Zagazito. I was like, what's going on here? I was like,
well, I thought it was. Yeah, you can barely tell. Apart from the single-digit numbers, it's a little bit confusing. And Keen Shields with a slam dunk penalty, no surprise at all. We'll see what that will be. And 10 seconds. Well, I'd say well deserved. But then again, I'd say Luke Brady got the same penalty for doing something nowhere near as harsh.
Yep. Just running off the track. It was ridiculous.
Look at that gap to Mansell.
Can Mansell do anything? It's turn 1. No. I think Browning might just hold on for this one.
He might do, which is a brilliant job because Mansell can do absolutely nothing as they head into turn 1 here. And obviously Megatuni losing time, got Ramos behind him as well. As we can see, Forderoli, Mini and Lindblad all get battling for P5 down to P8. We'll see if any moves can happen there. Forderoli, I think, went for a move on Mini. He's going to run down towards turn 4, but no move. I don't think big enough for him to try and get past the back of the Prema. Actually, he's got a gain in, isn't he, Josh?
Yeah, but on the inside, are we actually about to see Formula 3 be swept by British race winners? Arvin Lindblad yesterday, Luke Browning today. That'd be impressive if it is.
Gunn and Goethe having a battle. And done ahead of Goethe now into P9. Goes the MP driver. Brilliant job from him so far in this race. And to be fair, this F3 grid, even though we've got many people making a return, the top 10 looks so different to a top 10 from last season.
Yeah, it's changed again.
Mansell doing a good job. I don't think we really saw him much at the top throughout the whole season here, looking to take a P2.
Well, Luke Browning only got 1 podium last year in his 18 starts when he was with High Tech in 2023, finished 15th in the championship. But he looks like a man on a mission this weekend. He was quick in qualifying, he was quick yesterday in the sprint race, and today in the feature he took the opportunity, despite a problem with the engine in terms of whether it was a loose exhaust or what. He has dominated and held off the pressure from Christian Mansell. Luke Browning exits the last corner to become a new winner. The first win in his Formula 3 career in the feature race at Shakir. Luke Browning wins in Bahrain. Mansell second, Trevenizzi on his debut weekend gets bigger points in the feature in third. Megatuni Tunif, Ramos the top 5, Mini, Fulleroni, Limbrand finishes in 8th place after victory yesterday in the sprint. Dune and Goethe get the last point. Solov takes 11th. And a cracking opening weekend of FIA Formula 3. Luke Browning wins for the first time in the championship. And there's something wrong at Sector 2.
Yeah, someone's had a bit of a spin, maybe, or they're just slowing down. I'm not sure, unless this is where they're classing this yellow flag. Oh, it's just a bit of a mess up with the graphics.
Let's come up on my side.
That's pretty usual.
Let's hear from Browning.
In second. Luke Browning, mate, walks the drive. Well on, man. Come on! Yes, boys! Yes! Great job. Great job.
Absolutely brilliant. What a championship we are going to have. One in Macau. What can you do here, Omi? You were commentating at Macau. Let's have a look at Oli Goethe. This is in his battle. Oops, side by side. This is with...
Ooh, a little bit of contact.
It's Alexander Dune, yeah. Whoa! Wheel to floor. Yeah, and that's with Alexander
Quite
Dune.
a lot of contact there.
Go on then, Omi. He won. Luke Browning won in Macau. He's carried that momentum in, isn't he? And now he's like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, for Macau, big confidence boost, and now Macau season wanting to win the championship. So let's hear from Mansell first of all.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I should have attacked him earlier, but I'm so proud of you to turn this around overnight. Oh, what a car, what a team. What a team. What a race, mate. Super drive. Really proud of you, mate.
Ansel, great race from him. Yeah, Browning, of course, first in qualifying, won the quali race, won the main race during the Macau Grand Prix, and Sophia Flörsch is retired on track.
That's Sophia Flörsch.
That's why
yeah,
the
that
yellow's
must be
out.
the yellow flag.
Has she run out of fuel?
Looks likely, but she's back into the pit lane.
Could have been. Isn't that a disqualification?
Unless it's like a lead.
I think she'll care. She finished like 28th.
Yeah, I think she wouldn't care. Bad weekend for her, but she doesn't like the track. She goes well on the street tracks in the European circuit, so by the time we get back, Melbourne should be quite good for her. So that's the next time out. Then it's Monaco, and then by the time we get to Catalonia, that should be better. No, hang on a minute. It's Melbourne, then Imola, Monaco, Catalonia, Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, Budapest, Spa, and then we round out in Monza.
Budapest will be a good race.
Will be, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, at least we get a podium.
Yeah, we did get one last time. Sky.
Oh, we got one from F3, we did get one from F2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got one for F2. But we'll get one for F2 today as well, hopefully. Should do.
I can sit down for a little bit now. What did you make of the race then? Let's start with Richie.
Brilliant. So I think, the battling throughout the whole group was brilliant. We didn't see quite much at the top, but all positions down, there was lots of battling between all the drivers. It was quite clean as well, considering, all the drivers kind of late breakers and always looking to try and make moves. I think it was a brilliant job from them all. And also great to see, obviously, Luke Browning take his win and obviously Mansell on the podium, but big shame for Bogdanovic and what it could have been for him this weekend. Big shame mistake, possibly on leading the championship, because he looked very quick going into this round.
Derek Warwick, congratulations Luke Browning. What about you, Emmy?
Fantastic race. Personally enjoyed yesterday's one more, just a bit more battling absolutely everywhere. But today's race was good, a bit more on the calmer side as well, but we managed to get through all of F3 without any safety cars. So that's good. All of the drivers have done very well compared to like all other seasons where we're always having safety cars everywhere. And here is the race.
First win in FIA Formula 3, and I'm certain that won't be his last as well. Will it be the start of a championship campaign? Christian Mansell, second place for him. A return to the podium as well, his third in FIA Formula 3. Tim Tramnitz, a podium on debut. Sammy Megatunib in the points in fourth place. Santiago Ramos, points on debut for him. Then Mini, Forneroni, Lindblad ends a fantastic weekend after winning the sprint race. Dunn and Goethe in the top 10. Dunn points on his debut weekend as well. Solov in 11th place. Noel Leon in 12th place. Came up the order nicely. Dina Beganovic recovering from dead last after a poor start to the race. 13. Stenchorn was 14th, Florence Van Houten 15th, and Charlie Bass. Sebastian Montoya came from 29th to 17th, making good progress in both races this weekend. Bedrin, Zagazeta and Intra Pugazak around the top 20. Callum Boysen 21st, Tommy Smith 22nd, and Joseph Lowe. Max Esterson, not the best feature race for him, but a very good sprint race. Piotr Nicky was 25th. Keane Shields ran into problems throughout the race after an incident at turn 1. Josh Dufek was the driver he collided with. And Kasper Stuka, 28th. Mary Boyer picked up a puncture. Sophia Flörsch, problems for her throughout the race. 30th in the end for her.
Let's have the top three in the cool-down room.
Yeah. Good job, thank you. If I didn't have an engineer saying, do the push, do the attack, I would have gone for it, but kudos, you drove really well. You didn't make a mistake, which is annoying, but... To be honest, we were chilling the whole race. We were chilling the whole race.
Mate, I was thinking at some point you start to struggle because you were without the RS so fast.
The thing was, TP'd every single corner, like a maniac. Yeah. Made my braking efficiency look strong. That's why I was like, oh, can I like have a go? But, oh, that's not that good. I don't have a clue what happened actually. What happened to? You know, I just got down. You just had no power. Did you hear my exhaust? I made a comment. It was like blowing a gale of smoke. Yeah. Because it came up all over my face. I was like,
I was quite surprised that Sami was able to be there all the time.
Mate, he's so aggressive on the tires. You did me a favour. You did me.
Nice to hear from them there on the grid. Now, did we hear from you, Omi, before we threw up?
Yep.
Okay, good. Jess, what about you?
Great drive from Luke Browning as well. It's good for him to carry on where he started in Macau as well, where he absolutely dominated as well. Could this be the sign of things to come for Luke Browning? Christian Mansell, of course, was challenging for a little bit, but maybe his tyres were giving up the ghost, which helped Luke Browning take the win there as well. So, yeah, I expect different winners. I think, though, in Saudi Arabia, there could be different teams that could do much better in Saudi Arabia in a week's time and maybe prepare the track a bit more. But, yeah, a very, very good F3 race. I do prefer the sprint race compared to the feature race. I agree with Obi there.
Tim
Yeah,
Chiminazzi.
FD will be back in Melbourne, of course. FD will be back in Melbourne, of course. They're not Jeddah.
Oh, they're not Jeddah?
They're not Jeddah, no, because they're meant for Academy.
Right, okay, sorry, my bad.
Tim Chiminazzi in third position, Christian Mansell second, and Luke Browning takes a victory, making it a British domination here in Bahrain. Let's British winner in FIA Formula 3. Good start for us from our development programme as well here in the UK from the BRDC. Luke Browning takes his first ever victory in FIA Formula 3 after his victory at the Macau World Cup earlier last year, well later last year I should say. Good stop from High Tech, gets a trophy to take home. Second place for Christian Mansell. Not bad as well from the Kiwi. Moving over as well, Tim Tribonazzi from Germany, his first ever podium in Formula 3. Brilliant, just brilliant. And now we're of course non-alcoholic champagne for the Saudi races as well in the Gulf States. It's champagne time! Formula 3 comes to a close for the season opener in Bahrain. Two stellar races, the sprint arguably better than the feature, but the feature saw a dominating, controlled drive for the Macau winner. Is he the championship favourite? He leads going in to the next weekends of running in 3 weeks' time when Formula 3 heads down under for the second season in Australia at Melbourne. Absolutely brilliant. What will we deliver in this 10-round championship and 20 races? Well, next time up, who do you think then? Australia next time. Richie, chaos or boring?
Chaos.
Omi?
I don't like 2023.
Jess?
Wait. Chaos. I was trying to find the soundboard, but it's not letting me at the moment.
Oh, nuts. Well, next time out then is Australia for FIA Formula 3 in 3 weeks' time. Join us there. For Richie, for Omi, and for Jess, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back for F2's feature race in about 20 minutes' time. But for Formula 3, weekend's done. We'll see you in 3 weeks down under at Australia, Albert Park in Melbourne. Who will be victorious? It's always chaotic when we head down under. Nice early starts as well. There you go. It'll be chaos. See you in Australia. Bye-bye. And then of the first session here at Barcelona. It's Callum Voslin on top then with a 1:27.959. We get a 2-hour break before we're back at 1 p.m. UK time and 2 p.m. over there in Europe. Join us for more action in a couple of hours' time. Bye-bye.